Well, I think like you know what you're talking about. You know, you're talking about growing as a person. I think those are things that people you can absolutely learn from. You know, and absolutely should learn from. And those are things that are incredibly important to do. And to answer your question, does he want to hear from you? I guarantee he wants to hear from you. He doesn't know he wants to hear from you. These people don't. But taking time to just say, hey man, I messed up. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You know. If especially if you know you messed up, like people said, "Oh, Craig, you messed up," but I don't know why I messed up. They just point their finger, you know.
No,
you know,
I know why I messed up. Those
it's me every single day on this show with
it's been a consistent theme with Adam. He's always pointing his finger. Man, you really messed up. All right.
Oh no! Wait, it's my internet.
I'll say this.
No!
I'm not pointing any fingers.
Oh no! Oh no! No! My internet went down. Fuck. Shit. Shit. Hold on. Fuck. Oh, wait. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Is stream back up? I hope it is. Well, I have an order coming like in a couple of minutes. Yeah, it's like 2 stops away. But that's kind of fucked that my internet just decided, nah, I'm not gonna continue working. Fuck, that sucks. Fuck's sake. Well, it seems that we're back. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know why my internet decided to have a hiccup. That's very worrying.
No way.
Damn straight.
All right, let's continue on.
Okay, actually, well,
all right. So
we'll
we
just
made
continue.
mistakes. We're gonna attune for them or do our best.
That means it's gonna split the bar
into WWE champion.
Fuck.
Let's talk about this because this has been a consistent theme. With all the detractors, they want to know about your experience with this game.
Right. I shall be right back. I'm sorry again. I shall not be long. Be a little longer. But it should be here fairly soon. I'm the next one. Okay. Never mind. I will actually be right back. Sorry. There is an ad starting soon. Oh god. I should have fucking ran an ad. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for taking so long. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna fucking snooze this ad. Fuck it. It's gonna be snoozed for 5 minutes. We're gonna get a little bit of this.
Just a real simple yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you currently still play WWE Champions?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you do. Why are you so why are you so hesitant to
What are you doing,
talk
Dad?
about that or to talk about WWE Champions and
He's
Sorry,
sniffing the noodles.
Oh, why am I hesitant to talk about WWE champions? Well, the thing is, I wasn't at first. I did talk about it publicly years ago when the game first came out, very innocently. Talked about playing it casually. You know, that I was a fan of wrestling. This is a game that I played. You know, over the years, every once in a while, I would casually mention a mobile game I'm playing or whatever. But, you know, it's nothing that I would think that my audience would be super interested in. To hear about me, you know, what mobile games. I casually will talk about them. That would be like something I would mention on my podcast. You know, oh, let's talk about playing a new mobile game today or whatever, right? But what's ended up happening is over the years, every little thing that I mention that's not directly related to my content or my business, what I'm doing on stream, somehow gets twisted into something distorted or messed up by my detractors to make me look bad. And this is a prime example of them, in my opinion, and you can disagree, trying to orchestrate something. Well, just one of the many things, because we can go through a lot of the things they've done that have been completely disproven. But this is one of the things that I never went out of my way to disprove because it's stupid. It's ludicrous.
Can I ask you, Phil? Have you ever spent money on this game?
Of course I have, yes.
Have you spent a lot of money on this game?
Good question. What does a lot mean?
Anything over $100 is too much in a mobile game. So
probably when the game first came out, yes, I spent over $100 on it. That was
Okay.
2017 when it first came out. Trust me, I'm versed on this game now for all the wrong reasons. So yes. No.
Because you put so much money into it, Phil. That's why. That literally why. Is because you spend fucking hundreds of dollars. And the reason why you don't want to you can't disprove it, quote unquote, is because you don't want to admit that you're down from the rafters. Like, that is your account. And, like, it's unfucking believable that you would even do something.
First year.
wait, did you just flex on how good you are at the game? What'd you say?
No. I said I'm versed in the game because I have to know about it because they're freaking put me in conspiracies about it and shit. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
I don't
well,
want to know about it.
then,
How much money have you spent in this game? Do you mind saying?
Total, I couldn't tell you. It's definitely total under $1,000.
That is a lie.
Operation for sure.
Okay, not over $1,000.
No,
Because
absolutely
that's not what people think.
That's correct.
They think
I know.
that you're some sort of a whale in that game.
Oh, I know. I've seen every. You know, well, okay. I haven't seen every video.
I like how he caught himself. He was like, oh, I've seen it all. He was like, oh, I've seen it all. It's all bullshit. It's blah blah blah. But he caught himself. He caught himself, and you can fucking tell.
Heard it all. First, it was like thousands. Then it was 10,000. Then it was 20. Then it was 40. Now it's 100. I think 100,000 supposedly I've spent on this game.
Well,
Well,
we started talking about it, and you instantly went into just attacking other people. Like, we don't have to, like, your detractors. Like, they may deserve it. I don't know. But we can have this conversation without even bringing them up.
Sure.
Right? We'll bring them up
Goddamn.
if they're you know you're saying you're instantly going to they're making up shit. But you do play this game. You have spent money on it, and
Correct.
I think what's happening is when you're begging your audience for money and then complaining that this King's Feast is too expensive for a $60 meal, and you're stressing for money, and then putting money into a game that is a mobile game that is, I mean, let's face it, mobile games are not necessary in life.
No kidding.
Spending any amount of money on a mobile game, I've never played this WWE. I don't even know. I saw like a picture of it, and it looked like Candy Crush or I don't know what.
It's because it is.
But it just feels like they feel like you're just using them to like using your audience, and like I don't want to be used. I personally, I don't like feeling used. I've been used by people in the past, and I don't have time for that in my life. So when people are watching someone online and supporting them and then feel used, like when you say you beg too much and you're working on that, which is good because as I said, it's not a good look, but
He's only gotten worse in the begging, which is fucking wild. But also, there's an ad that is a way to start. So, so remember to stay hydrated. If you need to pee, go pee. You know. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you what to do, but yeah. Good lord, what a fucking shit show this man is. Truly is wild. Fingerman was a way to start. It gave me the pop-up.
Even talking about, hey, this other game that they believe you're a whale in. Why do they think you're a whale? Where are they getting this?
See, here's the thing. I don't exactly know. There's been so much to this thing over the years that, I'm just going to briefly in my head try to go over what I remember. Apparently, at first, it was that there was an account in the game. That's the name of the account was They Call Me DSP. Okay?
Which is also your Twitter handle.
That's correct. And so just by that association, they're assuming that's me in the game.
It's because it is you.
Now,
Like, logically thinking, who else? Oh, now we're getting the ad break. Fuck's sake. God damn it. God damn it. Oh well. Oh, man. I hope that there are still people here. That would be quite sad if it's just me. I mean, if it's just me, it's still fine, like, whatever. But it would be cool to have other people. But it's fine. Oh, god damn it. God, fuck. Okay. Community is back, apparently. Hello. It's fucking insane that Phil is like, oh, this account is called They Call Me DSP, which is funnily enough my Twitter handle and stuff. Like if somebody in a game that I had never played had the username Jamie King 369, I would be like, what the fuck? Like, that's my username. Like, I would be fucking raging. But Phil's like, whatever. But I don't believe that Phil would be like, whatever. Phil would be like, that's my handle. Like, I want that. If it wasn't him, he would be fuming.
I'm gonna understand after that. After, I guess at some point it had been asked on a stream or whatever, is this you? And I said, no, that's not me in the game. It is not, by the way. That is not my account in the game.
What is your account in the game?
That I'm not going to say. And if you're going to say why, because back when I signed up for that game in 2017, there had never been any drama around mobile games or anything like that I had been involved in. No one ever asked me the question of what's the name of your account. I have an account name on basically my Apple device that kind of crosses over a lot of different accounts, okay? If I were to tell you information about my account, these people will absolutely use that to hurt me. They will try to use this data to get into other accounts. They will probably try to commit identity theft, impersonate me with Apple. I can't do that. I've already been through that 2 years ago.
So on the record, you're saying that that account, They Call Me DSP, is not you.
That's correct.
Okay.
Why? Fucking bold-faced lie.
Okay, but here's the thing that I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around, right? Because apparently that name was changed later to Down from the Rafters. Why would somebody, if this is a troll that is a whale, right, that in this game, why would somebody let's say after this was brought to your attention, the name is later changed, right? And they're spending all this money on this, right? And they know it's being, it's being tracked in this game. why would they change the name if they're just trolling you with they call me DSP, this name? Why would they then change the name if it's just a troll to begin with? What's the point? I'm trying to wrap my head around this idea here.
Sure. Apparently, there's a couple theories. Theory
Oh,
number one is, like you just said, this person was actually a troll who was trying to make me look bad, and that was the theory until the name changed.
wait, what I don't... Right, okay, so theory number one, troll, wanting Phil to look bad. What I don't get is, why... like, what's the point of posting, or like putting up a mobile game thing and then being like, spending hundreds of dollars on it just to own Phil? Like, that doesn't make logical sense. Like, it doesn't. Like, there is no reason for it to be like that. Like, they don't gain anything out of it. Like, they're just pissing money away, and nobody's gonna do that. And then why would they later change the username? Like, it makes zero sense. Like, that I genuinely do not get. Like, I don't get why, like, how Phil could believe something like that.
But I agree with you. That doesn't seem to make sense, does it? Why would you try to change your name if you weren't, maybe, and again, this is me
Oh, yeah?
guessing. I have no clue. This is not me. Maybe this person was a legit player. Maybe
I love how he's like, it's not me. I mean, like, you can hear his voice change when he says like me. Like, he knows. He fucking knows.
it was a fan of mine. Maybe it was, who knows? Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's complete chance. This is not Darkside Phil. This is not DSP Gaming. This is they call
It's
me
Darkside
DSP.
Patrick.
Yes,
No,
right.
again, who knows? You're right. Because that's the point. Is it wasn't my name. It wasn't like Phil Burnell or whatever. It was one name that I use on a Twitter account.
But they also have the line connection. So this is where, so like, when you bring in the line app, Phil's entire story crumbles. And I wonder if they touch on the line app in this.
So maybe this legitimately was someone who was playing the game and over the years was getting like harassed. I don't know. Here's what I can tell you. Since this started happening, all right, I was afraid that my actual account name was going to get out there, and they were, like I just told you guys, they were going to try to like harass me or change, harass my Apple account, hack my Apple account, whatever. I reached
Phil,
out.
I gotta say real quick, if that whoever they call me DSP changed it to whatever the hell they changed it to, why haven't you changed it to some?
That's what I'm
obscure
about
thing?
to say. That's exactly what I'm about to say. I asked they have the help chat or whatever. I asked them. I said, "Listen, this is happening, and I'm really afraid." And they told me they don't do that. I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do name changes." I said, "There's evidence that there is." They wouldn't do it for me. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe this person, because of the level that they spent supposedly in the game, because they're a whale. Maybe the company did them a solid because they keep spending, and so they did it for them. Apparently, you can't just change your name. There's no option in the game to change your name. I've tried. It's not there. Contact support. They say we won't do it.
Like, I fucking hate that Phil is so adamant that it's not him, that he will lie through his teeth. And, like, everybody knows that he's lying. But, on a side note, I'm very upset that this 3-hour, like, almost 4-hour recording has been split. Very upset by that.
Okay, look, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. And look, I'm of the mindset of once somebody gives you money, you can do what you want with the money. But
True.
I think that we're here to put all the cards on the table here and work through these things. So when you play this game and you have this whale that has the exact same Twitter handle that you have, that is pulling this elaborate troll on you, right?
If that's what it was.
But I
Fuck's sake.
I hate to bring this up. But I'm going to because I feel like it needs to be addressed.
Go for it.
Ow.
people have been very aggressive with you to the point to where they have leaked bank statements from you, right? And that's obviously not cool at all. It's ridiculous that somebody would go to that length, and it's honestly upsetting, but it's out there, right? And there have been, according to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Many over hundreds of dollars that had been there. Were those your transactions?
No.
So those were not tied to you at all.
No.
Oh, the fucking audacity! The actual goddamn audacity of this man to be like, no. Those were not my bank statement transactions. If it's your bank statement, you cannot fucking refute that. And if you were like, oh, well, that wasn't me, you would immediately go, that's fraud. Like, somebody's like, hacked my account or whatever. But it's not. He's fucking lying, and he's been caught out so many times.
Okay, the bank leaks. Now we have to get into the identity theft thing, okay?
Well, let's just talk about the bank leads first.
Well, they're tied to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they go hand in hand. Those bank
Go ahead,
leaks.
explain it. Yeah.
Sure, the bank leaks are not accurate. That is not my account.
So it's the person who took your identity was spending money on in the Apple Store?
No, that's not my account at all. Whatever
So-
that is not me. That's fabricated. Or someone else's account. I don't know whose, but that's not my account that was leaked. I've had a lot of issues that happened with identity theft that same summer.
Fuck
They used
me.
that to run with some kind of this crazy conspiracy theory and say that was me, and it's not.
So you're saying, just so we're on the same page, you're saying that this
Sick.
account that is not yours, that had thousands of dollars of fees to the Apple Store consistently, that are these amounts just happen to tie to exact amounts in the game that we're talking about, WWE Champions, and it's a game that you also play. Just so we're all on the same page,
Yeah.
you're saying that is not your account at all, and they were unsuccessful in hacking your bank account.
They did not hack my bank account. They did not have access to my bank account.
It seems awfully convenient.
And
Right.
just
It
right.
does sound awfully convenient.
It does.
That's the truth.
You can understand how us looking from the outside in looks at this and raises an eyebrow and doesn't quite buy it,
So
right?
to me, I mean, from an outside perspective, who doesn't know anything, would look like you had to go and file for bankruptcy. You had all these issues and people calling you out for spending way too much money on this game, when you should have been saving for taxes. And then, this shit comes out, and you're like, you're freaking sweating. You got to freaking do something about it. It's like, oh, I was hacked. That identity theft. Like, maybe the identity theft happened. I'm just like painting a picture for like these people on the internet that hate you and are trying to convince the world of what happened. And then, like Craig said, I mean, you are playing it. It is your username. There are all these bank statements that actually correlate perfectly with this game. I'm leaning more towards that side of the story because it makes more sense. I mean, you needed an out. You have money issues and have had money issues for a while,
Yep.
and it's just like it's
The
hard to
reason-
believe, dude.
The reason that this story has not died out like every other one is because this is the one that I really don't have a way to prove my innocence without further exposing myself. You understand?
Do you have a police report for the
a police
identity?
report?
You
Oh,
you
no.
can redact certain things.
I don't have a police report.
What? I need to go back to that.
The reason that this story
Hold on.
has not. You understand?
Do you have a police report for the
a police
identity?
report?
You don't.
Oh,
you can
no.
redact certain things.
I
But
did not.
do-
I don't have a police report. Geez, how do I?
Did you not go to the police when your identity was hacked or
No,
taken?
I went to all my financial institutions. I went to the credit bureaus.
You
and
didn't go to
notify
the
them.
police though when someone
No,
was
I didn't.
stealing your identity.
No.
Why wouldn't you do that?
What a fucking idiot! Like, that alone is just the proof that you need that Phil is fucking lying. Because, like, if somebody, like, genuinely, if somebody had stolen my identity and was like, I'm defaming you and saying that you're doing X, Y, Z, whatever, I would immediately go to the police. But, I mean, that's just me. Maybe I'm just a normal fucking human being. Maybe I have some form of common goddamn sense. But, like, it's unfucking believable that Phil didn't think, oh, maybe I should go to the police because, like, identity theft. Or, like, identity fraud, or whatever. Like, it's so unreal. Like, Phil would love to, like, go run to the police with anything if he could. Because he knows that he would try and get away with it. And it's mind-boggling.
I didn't even think to do it. I don't think, what would they do about it?
To investigate it.
Try to fucking get the person and arrest them for stealing your identity.
I mean, I guess, maybe, but here, okay. I guess what I got to do is tell you a little bit more.
Fucking hell!
I have contacted the police about the harassment. No, listen, I have contacted the police about harassment over the years.
I know been so fucking sick of Phil.
Years later, when someone was actually doing tons of fake transactions against my PayPal account that were all fraud, they were actually fraudulent credit card transactions. I contacted our police here, and I had a big conversation, and they said, listen, this, I swear to God, this is the conversation. We don't do that. We don't have an online task force for this stuff. They said the only thing we deal with is human trafficking. That's it. That's all we can do.
What?
Here's the number to the FBI if you want to call them.
Oh my god!
Ginormous sums of money being tossed.
So you did contact them or you didn't?
Not about identity theft. I contacted them years earlier about other issues.
Fuck's sake,
And you
Phil.
talked to them about identity theft.
I talked to them about a lot of different things. What could happen. They
But why
basically told
would
me-
you have talked to them about identity theft years earlier if none of that was even happening?
Well, I don't know if we specifically
Fuck
said
me!
identity theft. What like I said, there was a case where
Adam is so fucking. Adam is genuinely like, I am fucking sick of this. Like, he's just spinning lie upon lie upon lie, and it's just like, stuff.
like pretty serious death threats. Someone saying they're gonna come to my
Okay.
house and murder me with a gun.
Well, that's
And
a
I-
completely different subject.
Correct.
Right.
And I contacted them about that. And while I was talking to them, I also brought up PayPal issues that I was having with fraudulent transactions and other things. And they basically said, we don't handle that. We can't. We don't have the capacity. Local PD doesn't care. You have to go, if you want to go to the FBI, but they even said, here's the number. If you ever get into something really bad, you're afraid for your life or something, call us 911. Outside of that, anything else, it's, big transactions or whatever, like you lose $1 million, you call the FBI. That's it. So I didn't think, I didn't file a police report about the identity theft because I didn't think they could do anything. They told me years previous nothing's going to happen about it.
Well,
Well,
it didn't seem like you were talking about identity theft with them. So
Well, so
Anyway.
let me ask this, right? You addressed the bank leaks on a stream.
Mhm.
Why? If they're not yours, why?
I
Why did
just-
you why did you feel the need to talk about the bank leaks if they weren't yours?
Well, what do you mean by that? Like, are you referencing a specific stream that I did? Or
Just
a
in general. I
situation?
mean, if somebody hacks an account and they say this is Darkside Phil's bank account, right? Why don't you say, well, it's not mine? What are you even talking about? And like,
I
think that,
did.
okay,
I'm sure I've never said that was my account.
then how come, and this is, the internet doing what it does, there's been matchmaking based off of your life, going to restaurants, big
Oh,
events,
shit.
WWE champions, things like that line up perfectly with this bank account. Like, and I think I said, it's your money, dude. You can do what you want. I don't
Mhm.
care. But why, like, it just, if we were in the court of law and somebody was to bring all this evidence in front of, say, like, look, hey, there's a bullet here. Here's the gun that he used. It has his fingerprints on it. This person is dead because this person pulled the trigger, and the other guy's like, no, I didn't do it. Well, like, there's clear, like, DNA there. And like, I think that's the thing that I'm really struggling with here, man, is it just seems like if you would just say, yeah, it was my bank account. It was really fucked up. It aligned with all these things. By the way, I play WWE Champions. I have a hard time quitting it. Those games are addictive. And you just kind of said, yeah, these things are accurate. I think people would just be like, okay, and they'd be cool with it. But it just seems like you keep digging and digging and digging. And I mean, walk me through this, because there's just evidence here, like mounds and mounds of evidence. And that
right,
say
you claim that it was someone else, but why do a lot of the things on the bank statement actually correlate to things that you actually did and paid for?
Right, and the only
That are
evidence
provable.
that you're putting out is, well, no, it's not, or that's a lie. And just walk me through this, man, because this is the whole purpose of this thing was not to make you look bad at all. But I just want to walk through this here, man, because it doesn't make sense. This doesn't add up.
What specifically, like you said a couple things there. First, you said big events in the game correlate to money being spent on the account.
No, I don't think he meant in the game. I think he meant in life.
Well, in life and in the game, apparently there's like special events that happen in the game, and it's
Man
certain characters
slipping.
released or whatever. I don't know enough about the game, right? I didn't do a deep dive into the game. Just there are special events that happen. Hey, it's like you see this on any game, Call of Duty, Apex. For this time only, you can buy this character or whatever. That's all. I'm just trying to walk through this, man.
But I see. Here's the thing. I don't know specifically what you're referencing. I guess what you're saying is there's transactions on that account that correlate. That's something that's been proven that I spent money on. How would that even be proven? What does that mean?
I mean, maybe you went to a restaurant and you said, "Hey, I'm going to go to dinner tonight," and then there's a transaction at a local restaurant for an amount that may add up to a couple people dining at a restaurant. You know what I mean? That's all. Like I said, I'm just trying to walk through this.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds. I mean,
nothing.
first of all, from your perspective, if I were sitting where you were right now and hearing this story, I'd be like, he's probably lying.
It's because you are lying, Phil.
I don't know how to defend. Again, I don't know how to defend myself without putting myself and my family at personal risk, and that's the problem. I don't know how that lines up. I wish I knew. I wish I knew I could explain those transactions. I guess, man, I'm trying to figure out how I can tell you from my perspective what really happened that summer.
From my perspective.
Here's something very easy, very simple, very simple. You have my email, and this is a small ask. It's also a big ask. You can say whatever you want. Will you? And you can say no, and I'm totally fine with this. But just confidentially, between us, will you send me a screenshot of your account, of your WB account, and just so I personally, I will not share your name to anybody, but just between us.
Man, I have to think about
and vouch for you.
I would put out.
Yeah, and I will vouch for you either way.
I have to think about what kind of risk that. I don't want to say. Here's the thing, I'll consider it, but I can't agree to it yet. See exactly
Of course.
What's the risk, And not to say that I think you would do anything with it. I don't.
I think you got to look at what's to benefit more than what's to risk.
You have no idea the levels how this is going. Accounts that have
I
been
do.
hacked
I see it. I'm well aware. I have chat up. I mean, I know. I mean, people have been tagging me relentlessly since it was announced that you were coming on the show, and I didn't know who you were. I had never heard of you before. Before this moment when Craig was like, "Hey, so do you know who DSP is?" And I'm like, "No. What's the deal?" And everyone's like, "Oh, we got to freaking tell Adam who DSP is." It's like I see the amount of attention that you get in a negative light, right? So like I understand. That's why I'm like I kind of understand that you don't want to be too forthcoming with your any more information that isn't public already, because as there's a lot out there. So. But you're in a pickle, man, because the internet is a fucking pulse, and it's a new brain that humans are still learning how to adapt to. And right now, there's a big chunk of the internet that has a target on your head. And you said it multiple times that you fucked up. You held your hands up. You said, I didn't handle this right. I fucked up multiple times. You did this and that. So it's like, if you want to remain on the internet, which you seem to enjoy streaming, you like what you're doing now, which is good. I'm glad you like what you're doing. But it's like, if you want to move in a direction that's gonna alleviate some of these haters, anything might help. Obviously, not giving them more ammo, which I mean, I've grown to trust Craig. Of course, you know, don't tell him I said that. But you know, I think that would actually do more for you than you think. If Craig came out and was like, all right, guys, he sent me the proof, and I can confirm to everyone that his account is not, they call me DSP, the whale account. You know, like
or the other name, Down from the Rafters.
or what it changed it to, yeah.
Right.
Like, that is genuinely true. Like, if Phil came out and was like, okay, I'm Down from the Rafters, I think that a lot more people would be like, we fucking knew it. Like, why fucking lie about it? But Phil's too ingrained in the lie. Like, he can't get out of it. Like, no matter what he does, even if he literally shows his phone live on stream and is like, and you see Down from the Rafters or whatever, he's never getting out of it. It's never gonna be a good outcome for Phil, and I think he knows that. Like, I genuinely believe that Phil knows that he is fucked regardless of whatever he does, and he can't get out of it. That's just how it is. But if he owned up to some fucking shit, then it would be fine. It would be so little hassle, or like less hassle. If he was just like, yeah, okay, I fucking spend loads of money on this game. But he just keeps digging that hole deeper and deeper. And this, I think this interview is like the last, like one of the last nails in the coffin. Like, I don't know if they go into the line thing or whatever, but if they don't, I'll explain what that is.
Like, almost at this point now, it's like, it's almost suspect that you're not wanting to just do whatever you can.
Yeah, again, I hear you. If I was sitting in your position right now, I would feel exactly the same way. But just as the levels of shit that I've been through and people who betrayed me, not that I'm saying Craig would. I don't think he would. But
I have no interest. Phil, I want to be really clear with you, man. And just like this, we were talking about this. I have zero interest in making you look bad. Like, I think there's tremendous opportunity here for you to be humanized to a lot of people who don't see you as human. You know, and to err is to be human, right? That's the old saying. Like, everybody fucks up, and you've owned up to a lot of those things. But there are certain things here, man, that I just, you know, they don't add up. And you're saying, hey, if I was in your shoes, I'd be saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I don't know, man. It's not connecting. It's not connecting. And I'm trying to help you out here, man. I really am. And
I hear you.
And
I feel like there's
help yourself.
I feel like there's nothing else to be said then, you know, because
Could I bring up one point about these bank statements?
sure.
Oh.
So I've seen limited amounts, because here's the thing. You guys just said, why do you bring it up on your stream? I only bring this kind of stuff up on my streams when someone else brings it up, and there's like, it's such a loud fervor on the stream. People are talking about it in the chat. I'll address it, okay? I did look into it. I saw some of this supposed bank statements that are mine.
Mhm.
There's a couple things there that don't make sense to me. All right, number one, this is me, okay? There's a bunch of transactions on there, I guess, from like pet stores, okay? And people are like, well, that's because Phil has a cat. Yeah, but those transactions are like big. You're talking like hundreds of dollars a week or something like that. I have one cat. Now, again, that's he said, she said. It's not going to prove my innocence. But everyone knows I have one cat. He's been on the stream all this time. I don't.
Which he also didn't put in his bankruptcy form. He didn't say that he has a pet, which is illegal because he is fraudulently filling it out, and it is unfucking believable that this man is allowed to be believed. Like, if you believe Phil, you're a fucking idiot. I'm gonna come out and say it. If you believe Philip Burdell, Philip Patrick Burdell, is it? I think that's his full name. Or also known as DSPGaming Dark Side Phil. You're a fucking idiot, right? there's no way to sugarcoat it. If you believe this man here, you're a fucking moron. And there is no way around it. I'm just telling the truth.
Have a secret herd of dogs in my basement. I don't even have a basement. So we're, some of the transactions in that I've seen don't make sense at all for what it's funny because you say circumstantially, some of these transactions could be yours if you went out, and ate. Okay, you're right. But some of them also don't make any sense. Like, okay, there's a bunch of transactions on there that say iTunes. Okay. Now, I don't know, but here's the thing. The narrative that they have put out there about me is that I'm begging and shilling to my viewers. The viewers give me tips every day, and that money goes right into WWE champions.
It does.
That's the narrative that they say on the internet. If that's the case,
a lot of it does.
Why are there bank transactions for iTunes? Right? The money is in my PayPal account. Why are there bank transactions for iTunes? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I take money?
Because you can pay for PayPal to iTunes. Like you can use PayPal as a different means to buy stuff. Like that's the whole point. Like that's literally the point of it.
Out of a PayPal account that I have, that I get my tips from, transfer it to my bank account, where then I take a hit because there's a transfer fee anytime you transfer money from PayPal to a bank account.
No, there isn't.
So,
there is not a transfer fee. You're fucking lying. Because I get all of the money that I do from beta testing through PayPal. And I get every single penny back. He is fucking lying. And as somebody who uses PayPal, like, monthly or whenever I get money from testing, I have earned, like, before, I think it was, like, I earned one time, like, 180 quid or something, and I got every single penny of that when I transferred it from PayPal to my bank. So, Phil is fucking lying out of his fucking arse. Like, that is unbelievable.
I'm taking a big financial hit on that money. Then I'm making transactions in the game off the bank account. Why wouldn't it be made out of the PayPal?
What a fucking lying cunt.
It makes no logical sense.
Oh wait, am I gonna get banned for that? Am I gonna? Is the C word a really bad word to say on Twitch?
A lot of things that haven't made a whole lot of logical sense here, Phil. I mean, let's just be real. There's a lot here that doesn't add up, right?
Well, isn't the iTunes like where the microtransactions from games get charged? So that actually would make sense.
It would make no. Okay, you're correct, but the point I'm making is the money's in the PayPal account. So if there,
yeah,
if
but hold on, I know what you're saying, but on PayPal you can actually use PayPal, and you could click use balance or use your bank account, and it'll just pull the money from your bank account, but using PayPal as the payment service. So that's irrelevant because you can choose where the money's coming from on PayPal.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. What I'm going off of their narrative, and their narrative is every day I'm begging my audience for money. It goes to my PayPal, and then I immediately.
Fuck me, Phil.
That's the narrative.
I didn't believe that narrative, but it does seem that you do get money and you just spend it on the things that need to be spent on instead of, planning for taxes the next month or whatever.
That is absolutely correct. Yes.
Right, and or things that aren't necessary, which could include WWE. Not saying that it is, but it could be.
Do you feel that you said you still play the game? Do you play any other mobile games?
Yes.
Do you feel that you're addicted to them at all?
No.
That's a
I
lie.
play them casually. I play them, for example, I'll be off the stream and it's night and my wife and I are watching a TV show. And as we're watching the show, I might just open it up. And, these mobile games are not big narrative experiences. They're just like kind of busy work game, grinding games.
Right. I play a mobile game. It's a Picross game. It's literally you do the blocks in and shit, and it makes like pixel art. Like I do that. I have never spent a penny on it. I've played it for like 2 years. Right? It's a fucking grand game. right? But Phil is so addicted to mobile games. It's kind of unreal when you think about it.
Right? You mash a little bit. You do like Adam said. This stupid WWE Champions is just a freaking puzzle game like Candy Crush. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence to do them. They're more like, you know.
Do casual players pay just under $1,000?
No, you're
I feel like
you're right.
you elevate your level when you actually put any money into it. But then when it goes over $100, you kind of elevate from casual to, all right, I'm one of the core players.
This all started because you guys probably don't know the full history. This all started many years ago before there was tons of financial issues.
Right. So I have to admit I have put a fair whack of money into Warframe, right? But I have been playing Warframe for like 10 years, 10 years now, and I normally buy stuff when I get like the platinum discounts or whatever. But I will never put. I don't think I've put $1,000 in. I think I've put like maybe 300 in over the entire time. But Phil is like such an addict. Like Phil is just so addicted to spending. It's wild to think.
Republic. I was playing a different WWE game. It was called WWE Supercard. All right. This one I actively spent a lot of money on. I will tell you guys this. I can't tell you the exact. I got addicted to that one. Everyone knew it. I talked.
So you
about
have
it
been
streams.
addicted to mobile games.
Yes, I have. I spent way too much money on that, and there was another one that was called Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle.
Oh my fucking god, Phil!
Before way before the years before the bankruptcy and everything.
Oh,
was spending too much money on them, and at that point, I stopped. I cut off. I stopped playing WWE Supercard and Dokkan Battle completely. When I saw what I was doing, I stopped myself from doing it, and then. I've casually played other mobile games over the years, and basically what happens is with my, and I know you guys are going to say you're changing the narrative. Please bear with me with this.
No, it's not helping your case at all.
I know, but I'm being honest. I'm going to.
No, you're not, Phil.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is all.
Yes, you will.
I talked about those games in the past, and with these detractors, what they do is they find a narrative and they stick with it. If I can dispute it or disprove it, or if it gets somehow disproven, then they drop it and they latch onto the ones that they can't, that I haven't been able to disprove. This particular one, they've been looking for something to get me on for years and years and years, and every single thing gets disproven or just forgotten about. This is the one I can't find a way.
Use Craig. Send him a screenshot.
I haven't found a way to do this without putting myself at personal risk up to now. And so this is why the narrative has continued. Even though there's been so many different things that have been disproven. There's people who make videos about WWE champions that have made entire exposés about me in the past that were completely disproven. They don't care about that. What's the next thing that we can make drama about for Phil? So we can have personal games.
Oh my god, it's fucking insane. How long have we got? Oh my god!
So that's what I mean. Because this all started years ago with those other games. I publicly admitted to everyone, yeah, I was addicted to them. I spent too much money on them. I'm done with that now. And then I casually... People at one point, like 2017, when this game came out, asked me, "Are you playing any other mobile games?" Yeah, I started playing this one, and every once in a while I mention it. I think the last time that I actively had admitted that I had played it was 2019. I had said that I was on a plane to Connecticut to get married with my wife, and I had played it on the plane. And then people
the marriage is fucking insane as well, because Phil used donation money to pay for his wedding. And he denies that. He said that his parents paid for it, but he gave money to his parents, so in a roundabout way, his fans still paid for it. It's so fucked up, and he can't take accountability at all, and it's kind of unreal.
Use that as you still play mobile games, you're still
So let's okay. So you say you play the game, you say you're not addicted, although you have been addicted to mobile games in the past, right? Yes. And I'm just going to lay this all out in front of us, all right? So you used to play a mobile game that was WWE related.
Yes.
Okay. You were addicted to that game. Fast forward, new game comes out, right? You play that game, and by the way, you separated yourself from that game because you knew that you were addicted to it. Okay. Usually in the case of addiction, just usually there's some sort of intervention in life, some sort of intervention that happens, whether it's brought on by friends, family, or just personal, you look inside yourself and you realize something needs to change, right?
Right.
Do you feel that you're addicted to these games? I've already asked you this, but I just feel like, once again, you have transactions that line up with major events. I'm getting DM pictures of your Discord, your Discord handle in the WWE Champions Discord, right?
Even though Phil doesn't apparently have a Discord, even though that has been disproven multiple times.
It just seems there's all so make it make sense. Like, this doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
It can.
I have such a hard time believing that there is a group of people that are so hell-bent, this evil plan to make you look bad, that they're willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on WWE champions just so they can make you look bad. I don't buy it. And once again, there's an easy out here, Phil. I'm offering you the easy out. All you got to do is just take a quick screenshot. You can email it to me. It's done. We all move on. The detractors move on, and everybody goes, okay, you know what? And we all move on. That's it. That's it. It's very simple, man. And
it's never gonna happen.
Like, I want you to be able to move on from it. I want the detractors to be able to move on from it. I want the internet to move on from it. I want all the WWE content to be done. Like, it's there, man. It's there. Like, let's make this happen. Like, and then we all move on, and we can start talking about other things.
Okay.
I wonder how much of this interview is still
how I can do it.
the WWE champions.
Again, what liability? I'm not going to 100% agree to it, but I'm very strongly considering doing it.
He's
Let's
not.
see if we can do it before the end of the stream. We have a captive audience here. They want to know, right?
Oh, no, hold on. I told you I'm not even doing anything with my phone or anything on the stream. I'm definitely not doing it today on the stream.
Okay.
Convenient.
You got to understand there's liability here. This is not just a discussion for me either. I'm talking to my wife, everything here. Because if this account gets out, that's a lot of stuff that now can be compromised.
Okay. All right. Look, like I said, family, I get it, right? Totally understand. Okay. And then when you decide that this is something that you're comfortable with, you can email it to me. The email will only be seen by me, not anybody else. Okay. And I will delete it immediately after. And I will, I will serve as your confidant in this process. So, all right, well, I mean, I don't really know how to move on from this. I don't know. I just feel like there's this mountain of stuff here, and it just.
Phil, I got a show name that you can do. This is how you don't game. I think you need to own it, man. I think you need to fucking take back what they took from you and just fucking lean into that, dude. Fuck them. I mean, just do what you want to do. Do you, man. But, like, the best thing to do is be honest and own up to whatever, right? So if you truly...
He's not gonna.
You've said multiple times you don't know what you could do. I think Craig has given you a good out. If you want to use it, like, I understand you got to, like, think about it. That's fine.
Again, we didn't even get into the identity theft stuff of what's happened to me. That's why I'm so afraid. It almost ruined me, And that's what I mean. Even just doing this is a risk.
Like, as pointed out in the chat, several people have said, like, the charges to your bank account or to the bank statement that is not yours.
The alleged account.
That is not yours. They include, shops that are around where you live, and restaurants, and like that just seems like. Once again, Phil, help me out, man. Like, we're looking at an account that just so happens to be around where you live.
Mm-hmm.
That just so happens to be shopping and dining where you're at. That just so happens to have your a social security number that is extremely close to yours. I mean, that's how they accessed it. Not like I said, we talked about how we totally disown that. That's ridiculous, but it's out there.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. This is interesting.
Deflection. Fucking deflection. It's like, nah. Fucking Phil, just admit it, you piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit.
Let's say, you know, the screenshot. I send you a screenshot. You see it. Okay, this is his account. This is, you know, this is not what he said was true. So then, how did that happen? How did they make this bank? How did they do that? I don't know how they did it. I
But
wish I knew. Just like the,
you're
like you
right.
just mentioned, the Discord chat stuff. I don't know how they did that. I have no idea. I guess I'm stupid. I'm a dinosaur, right? Like I don't understand how they faked all that stuff. I really have no.
It's not fake.
How could they have done it? It's like they took advantage because I don't know.
It's because it's not fake, Phil. Like I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody, if like one of the bigger detractors. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now. I'll probably say it at the end again, but I should have fucking said it at the start. If any of the big detractors, like Duty Streams, Dark Side the Flow, Nemology 101, whatever, wanna like clip this shit, you have every right to. This is fair use. I don't give a shit. Like all I care about is like getting credited properly. That's it. That's all I would want. You can do whatever you want with it. Alright? I'm gonna do my own video on this, but if you guys wanna go ahead. Like you have every right to. I don't give a fuck. But just just at least credit me if you do. I doubt it. I doubt it'll happen, but it's worth saying. It's worth mentioning and getting it out on record. But okay.
I don't know about Discord enough to answer how they could fake those logs.
Because they're not fake.
Or is it a real bank account that they somehow had access and found one that's close to? I don't know. How could that
Do
be
you
possible?
do you think that somebody went in and created a fake bank account and made 12 hours, 18 hours, however long it was, do you really think that somebody dislikes you that much that they're willing to make a 12 to 18 hour audio recording of every single transaction from a bank account that just happens to be right where you live, right in the same area, at shops you may or may not you visit? Like, this just seems like way, like, dude.
Do you hear my honest answer?
Yes.
Yes, I believe they hate me that much. I have other situations that are similar that have happened to me, and I could tell you about them if you want. Or we don't.
Oh, fuck me. Fucking hell, Bill. Jesus Christ. Just the fact that his bank account, like, they literally managed to, like, get access to his account, but it was to like, hear his transactions. Like, I've had it done before. I've had my fucking bank shit read out to me because I've been trying to like phone my bank and complain about shit. And it's really easy. You just really need the like your date of birth, your the last 4 digits, or last 3 digits or something, are like what? Well, for us over here in Britain, is there's like the 3 digits on the back of your card, and I think a couple of other things. But like, it's really easy to get into somebody's bank account, like to just listen to their transactions. It's super easy, and it's kind of wild that Phil is so adamant on this.
Way too elaborate, man.
I hear you. I've had people who've catfished me for 2 years, saying they were someone to get into my group. They moderated for me on my chat for 2 years.
Oh,
they had a whole persona of who they were. All my other moderators were friendly with them. And then after 2 years, they revealed, I'm a secret detractor and I was here to try to ruin Phil. Like, what? You spent 2 years of your life doing this? And you're like, that can't be true. It's true.
Oh,
it's not.
It's here.
What about Phil? What about that these accounts, the Down from the Rafters, the DSP account, why are they tied to your phone number?
There we go. There we go.
No, and I don't know what that means. How could
Yes.
Well, when you register an account, you have to put a phone number attached to it, right? Why would that be?
No, to my knowledge, if you're going to play any mobile game, you don't ever enter your phone number into it. It's tied to your. Well, I guess it could be tied to many things.
Line?
Tied to what's that?
The Line app?
Line.
Perhaps?
That's one of the apps. Correct. There could
Mhm,
be.
mhm.
Well, no, wait. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Like currently, okay. I'm trying to put it in perspective of a game that I played today. Like for example, WWE Champions. I believe it's your Apple account, it's a Facebook account, or there's a third one. I don't know because I don't think I use this.
It's a Line.
I use the Apple account.
It's fucking Line, Phil.
I never entered my phone number. You know what I mean? Like it was just the Apple account you log into when you download anything off the Apple Store or whatever. There's no phone number entry there. So I don't know how that would happen or how you would even tie it to a phone number. I have no clue. I've never entered my phone number into any mobile game that I've ever played. If you bring up the Line account, that's something else entirely, which we could talk about too, because they've tried to spin that into it too.
I like that there is a part. I don't know where. A snoozy boy. Where Phil says that he doesn't know what Line is. Like, he's like, "What's the Line app?" And it's so fucking insane. Like here, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know what Line is. I know what the Line app is and stuff." Like, I know what the fucking Line app is because I went abroad and I know, like, I see ads and shit. Like, Line is really popular in other countries as like your main form of like communication. It's essentially like WhatsApp. But the fact that Phil here is like, "Oh yeah, I know what it is," and then later down the line he's like, "I don't know what the Line app is unfucking real.
We have almost been going for 3 hours.
We have? Holy crap.
And it's been.
I have been going
a
for
great interview.
4.5.
I'm certainly taking the stance of being very critical. I don't want to make you uncomfortable or anything. But I think that we should move to super chats because, and I don't know if we're gonna have the time to read them all because I saw super chats going the entire time.
Right. Well, there's a lot more to get to here, and I think that those who are contributing, they will be read and they will be appreciated. But I feel like there's more substance here that we need to get out before we talk about that. And I think those who are contributing will contribute because they want to contribute and they appreciate that this is happening. And Phil, I want to be clear, like, dude, I told you all along, man, I really appreciate you doing this. Like I said, you had other offers. This was not meant to be an interview to start with, but I appreciate you coming on and being a part of this. I know that those who want to contribute, they will contribute. They will give memberships. They will super chat. They will buy merchandise, whatever, because they want to support. But I think that there's more substance here. So let me continue with this really quick, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah, it's your show.
Right. Well, it's our show, buddy. It's our show. Let's talk about this, man. So we'll move on from WWE, and we'll talk about something else. You have been doxxed. You have been doxxed, and that is ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. Now, to be clear, there's been a lot of, the idea of what doxing is, right? Like leading up to this, I was asking people, like, I want to know who I'm getting my information from. People are like, you're doxing us. Well, no, I was asking to see who I was speaking to. I feel doxing is putting personal information out on the internet for people to find, for people to see, and that normally wouldn't be available to people, right? And you have been doxxed. Your personal information has been put out. Like, why do I know that your personal phone number is tied to this account? Right? Like, your address. All these things. It's insane. But you have also been accused of not necessarily doxing, but holding the information that you have over people's heads. And I wanted to kind of show you this clip real quick, and then we can talk about this. So, this is what
I think it is. If it is, this is fucking brilliant.
The fact that his fucking Twitter account is the same exact avatar that he's fucking using for this troll account on my website. Oh, by the way, I have your IP, I have your name, and I have your address. So, congratulations. You fucked up. You really did the awesome one on Twitter.
Phil
All your
Collins.
fucking personal information. Now, I'm going to say this up front. I'm not going to give it out. This is not a doxing video. I do not condone it. I will never give out someone's personal information or anything like that whatsoever. However, understand something. I got you. How about the fact that his
Okay.
fucking Twitter
Do you think that's okay?
It sounds like a threat, right?
Yes, it
Sure
is.
does.
Clip since I said it.
Pretty sure it was a threat.
It was a threat.
That is definitely a threat.
That is, I mean, okay. No, it's not.
Phil, you do not get to decide what is or is not a threat. Like, I don't get why people do that. Like, if something is very clearly a threat, right? If it's worded in a threatening manner, if you could imply a threatening response from it, then like within reason, then it's a threat. Like Phil being like, "Oh, I have your IP address. I have like all your information and shit." That's a threat. Like Phil, you do not get to decide what is or is not a threat, and that is mind blowing that he would think that.
Again, this is kind of goes back to you tell a dark joke. You
Yeah,
made
it was.
one way, it came out a different way. What I was getting at in that clip was this is someone who had hurt me. I don't know if you want to get into the specifics of what they had done. It's kind of a moot point, right? Really badly. It's actually one of the things that have actually hurt my business overall financially since then. Okay, I've never.
So
really
it justifies it.
No, it doesn't justify.
That's
it
what
because
That's why you wouldn't have said it otherwise.
It got me that angry. They had actually so bad for no reason. I don't even know who that guy is. All right, and the only reason I knew is because someone had found that information, sent it to me. I didn't find it myself, and I said that on the stream because I was so upset. What I should have said was, this is a situation. You hurt me so bad. I don't know who you are, and I think I'm going to go to the authorities with this.
Hold on, right? Okay. Hold on. I shall be right back. I'm gonna go see to my dog because he is being a little baby. Hey, you're being a little baby. And I think I shall also get some food. So I shall be a few minutes. Don't worry, I shall be back. Right. So I have food. I don't have my dog anymore. My dog is downstairs. Oh, it's an ad break. Fuck's sake. Great. Fucking great. Oh well. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. God damn. Alright, we've got 20 more seconds ish. Oh, good lord. I hate that it's got like a minute delay now. Because of the internet dropping. Which fucking sucks. Because that's kind of like throwing everything out of whack, but it should be fine. Okay, so we're back.
That's what I should have said. I shouldn't have said, "Oh, I got all your information about the." You're right. 100%. You're right. I never doxed that
So it
guy.
was a threat. You admit that it was a threat.
It was me venting anger.
That's a threat, dude.
Correct. It was me venting anger in
Thank
a
you.
threatening manner. Yes. But I never did anything with it, nor did I ever dox that person. Their information never went on the internet publicly.
No.
If it did, it wasn't me that did it. Like I said, someone sent me the information.
But you still threatened them.
But
Which is the
you
point.
understand, like that's not something that you should.
Oh, Craig, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Greg, your audio.
Yeah, what happened?
Not sure. His mic seemed to have been muted.
Oh crap.
Yeah, I mean, I
Goddamn.
have people that support me. I have a few different companies. I have a coffee company, and like I have people's information, and I would never ever use it ever, and I would never claim to, even if someone pissed me off, even if they bought my coffee company, I knew where they lived. That just feels like a weird, like you say, your anger or whatever, and it just slipped out. It's like, is there things that go on that, like, in your head that might, because the way it sounds, like it seems like you kind of just fly off the handle sometimes and do shit and say shit that that gets you in trouble. Like, I mean, it almost
Yeah.
feels like I need to be worried about you, dude. Like, what's gonna happen next? You say you've changed, but it turns out that racist video with the little girl was only like 7 months ago. It wasn't a year ago. That's pretty recent, dude.
You
know,
can,
so
again,
it's
you
like-
can say it's you can say it's racist. That
It
was
is racist.
Bro, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. The internet thinks it's racist. I saw it, and it's fucking racist. So you're talking about a killer who's killing people in their basement, and then so you're bringing up the slave, just like sending a little girl off to the slave trade. I don't know. It's pretty obvious, right? So I know you claim that it isn't, but it really did sound that way. But that's whatever. I don't know, man. It just feels like.
No, Craig, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I still can't hear you, Greg.
What the heck happened?
I
I got tired of this bullshit.
No, but anyway,
Or bullshit in
to
general.
follow up on what you just said, so that clip, just so you know, 2015. That clip is
Okay.
from 2015. Not to say that that means anything. Yes, I will
Check,
admit
check, check.
I made.
Oh.
There you go. You're back, Craig.
All right, got it. Cool. Thanks.
So that clip was from 2015. That's, again, one moment in my 15-year career that maybe I made the threat of doxing. I never did it, but I shouldn't have done it, and I openly 100% admit that. I didn't even know I had ever done that. I don't remember that.
Of course you don't fucking remember that.
Even happened.
How
So I
convenient.
apologize for that. I should have never done that. The guy should also have not hit me with false copyright strikes that destroyed DSPGaming and lost me, tens of thousands of dollars that year and onward. And
It all comes down to the money. Like, obviously money's important. We all fucking need it. Like, I am fucking poor just now because I'm like unemployed and shit. But like, I only have what, 30 quid or something, maybe not even that, to my name, and I'm just like, whatever. Because like, I know it's kind of sad and shit, but like, I still live with my parents. like I had moved out prior. I've had to move back in and stuff. Like I haven't had a job in like 4 years or something, but I technically still have a job doing beta testing, which is an ongoing thing. But like I couldn't imagine being like Phil and begging for money. Like I am so poor just now that I would have to beg for money, but I'm not going to because that's shit. Like that's just a shit thing to do. And Phil can't even fucking see that, and it's wild. Like Phil is so blinded by those dollar signs. Like he just sees those dollar signs in his eyes. Like he is every cartoon character. He is like Scrooge McDuck when it comes to money. It's unfucking believable.
To this day, but that's a moot point. I did the wrong thing. Oh, you can't fight a wrong with a wrong, correct? You can't fight fire with fire. It just makes things worse. And I shouldn't have said that.
You're right. But I feel like that statement in itself, the idea of like you can't fight fire with fire, you can't fight, like I feel like a lot of this conversation, Phil, has been like it's been deny, and it's I don't know, that's not true. That didn't happen. But you haven't really given any facts to back it up. I feel like just across the board, there's this entire mountain of evidence here that's saying, these are the things that Phil does. These are the things that has happened. And you're just saying, well, no, it's not. And
I didn't say no, it's not. I said,
or that's not true, or that's not my account. That's not me. That's not my. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. It just when there's a mountain of evidence, you can't just say like, well, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
There is definitely a reason why I'm in the position I'm in. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. This is 15 years of me all day, every day, putting myself on the internet, making mistakes. When I started 15 years ago, there was no groundwork of seeing, oh, here's someone who's done it, and here's the right things and wrong things to do. And I've made tons of these mistakes over the years. Like I was just saying, that clip's from 2015. When that happened, I'm sure everyone called me and said, how dare you make threats against that person, even if they've hurt you? Oh, you know what? You're right. I probably shouldn't have said that. I won't do that stuff anymore.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
no.
Again, I don't know. But, I'm doing my best to improve and not make those same mistakes again. I do slip up. I absolutely do. What I would say is, and Craig, I have no clue if you did this or anyone else. If you just watch a stream of mine, just come by one day, watch
I have,
half an hour of the stream. Did you see anything like that on the stream? Did you actually see me? You know what I mean?
No, look, there is something to the idea of people picking and choosing things that people say during interviews, during streams, during whatever, right? There is absolutely something to that. And it only takes, 10 seconds to screw things up, right? I totally understand that. But it just, Adam, you said something yesterday when we were talking about this. Do you want to, you were talking about a collection of moments. Do you want to kind of say what you were saying yesterday? I don't want to steal your thunder on that.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, you were saying that in the event of these collections that your detractors put together of you saying these things, there's a lot of them. Like there's a lot. And if you were to go through most people over the last, most people just in general, there wouldn't be as many. They wouldn't be as long. There's just a lot to sift through. And maybe you have a
Right. So the whole, there is a lot to sift through. There is so much to sift through with Phil. On the Kiwi Farms, Phil has his own subthread, and I love it. I think it's brilliant because the people on that are really so funny. But he had to get a second thread because the first one filled up, and it was a maximum of 10,000 pages or like 10,000 notes or whatever. But they had to make a second thread just for Phil, and that is on its own fucking insane. Like if I had like fucking 15,000 things, like 15,000 comments for like on one website about me, I would freak the fuck out. Like, I would legitimately just unplug myself from the internet. I'd be like, never again. Like, if shit came out that was like life destroying for me, I would disconnect from the internet and move away somewhere. I'd be like, fuck this, I'm out. Phil was just like, whatever.
A more watchful eye on you than most people, but it just seems like there's a lot there, man.
Mhm.
And I think that's probably the biggest thing here. You know,
I think you're right. I think it comes with being one of the most prolific content creators of gaming that have been, over 100,000 videos. 15
There's
years
that
of my
illusions of
life.
grandeur.
No, I don't care. I'm not saying it's good content. I'm saying
It's anything but good content, Phil. Well, I fucking love Adam. I think Adam is like I'm okay with Craig. Like I kind of like him. I don't like his face. Craig has a kind of punchable face. It looks so smug. But that's my opinion. Nothing against you, Craig. If you ever see this somehow, like literally nothing against you, my guy. You just have a kind of punchable face. But I think that you're a good guy. Adam is just not holding back. He's just like, fuck it, the gloves are off now. It's brilliant.
it's just habit. You can say it's shit if you want. I don't care. But when I put myself out there that much, there's just that much more to microanalyze. And when I'm a small time guy, and you see concretely, oh, if we make that video about Phil, number one, you're getting the clickbait views. You're getting money because you're probably running ads on the video, or people are donating to you to continue to make fun of me. This is how you don't play. I became the whipping boy of the internet. People made entire channels that were profitable based off just making fun of me, right? So
Yeah.
when I'm out there as the target and people realize, well, people have been doing this for years and they get away with it. This started making fun of my gameplay. Then it became make fun of him and his mannerisms, make fun of his family members, make
Hold on. Okay, right. Hold on. This is huge, right? So I mentioned it earlier, but there was the pot noodle video that he watched recently, and it made fun of his mannerisms. And Phil's like, I wonder how many other videos have done this. I genuinely do. But if like that is a big correlation. This is tinfoil hat at this point, but I do believe that Phil has watched that pot noodle video prior and has probably watched other videos from detractors, like taking the piss out of him, obviously. But I believe that he slipped up and mentioned and accidentally gave away that he watched the noodle video, and I actually have noodles here just now, but I am eating them with a fucking fork like a normal fucking human, Phil. Like a normal person.
fun of it's just it kept going big as much as you can, as toxic as you can. And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like I'm the one. It's me and others. They call us lolcows, correct? It's the term that's used, lolcows.
Right, lolcows, yeah.
So you got Wings of Redemption, you got Boogie. We're targets because we make mistakes repeatedly. We all do, and sometimes we make the same mistakes over and over. I feel that other content creators make those same mistakes too.
But the difference is, Phil, right? You repeatedly make the same mistake and don't learn from it. Most people learn from their mistakes, which is the whole point of making a mistake. We're never gonna not make mistakes. As human beings, we are prone to making mistakes. Like, I've made hundreds of mistakes in my life, and a lot of them I'm not proud of. Like, I'm like, when I was younger, I didn't try and get a job or anything like that. There was so much that I regret, but I learned from it, and like, I have something that's constantly ongoing with the beta testing and shit. But like, that's not enough to pay the bills. But I can put it on a CV. I can do something with it. Like, Phil could easily do a beta testing thing as well. Like, he could easily get more money for it. But he won't, because he can't fucking logically think of that. Because he's stupid.
Maybe not as much as us, maybe not to the extremes that we do. But those other content creators are big and they have ginormous audiences that back them and defend them. You know, the crazy stuff. I mean, the other day I saw a video of Moist Critical picking up an assault rifle in his video.
Mm-hmm.
If I picked up an assault rifle, I'd be off the internet. That would be ending for me. I'm out of here. Right? It doesn't even matter what the context is. If I pick up a weapon,
But
on
I think
the
it
street,
does.
I'll be off the internet.
But it very much does. It very much does matter the context, right? Like if
That is correct. It does. Like the context matters so much. But like I know Phil's gonna say like a lot of them take it out of context, but you have to provide the context, and if you don't provide the context that the other people seen, then you're gonna get called out on your bullshit. And everybody fucking knows it. Like, there is no way to not get called out on your bullshit.
you know what he was doing was he was making a point. I saw the video you're speaking of, and he was talking about some beef he has with some other guy. I don't really know the whole deal, but the guy that he was talking to was talking about you know, clips. He was talking about clipping streams and clipping, and the guy who was kind of threatening him with a gun, who was talking about the clips, and he's like, no, listen, that's not a clip, this is a magazine, and he was explaining these things in context for what was going on. I think context very, very much does matter, though.
It is against terms of service on YouTube to be live while holding any gun.
That's
Well, he
right.
wasn't live. He wasn't live. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't live? It was a video?
not live. Yeah, it was a video. So
Then there's
Okay.
nothing wrong with it.
maybe
Then Combs is... Oh, wait, actually... I don't know, because it was a toy gun. I was going to say Combs has broken terms of service on YouTube, but Combs has broken terms of service on YouTube multiple times. That's nothing new.
demonetized and such. But well, so let me say this, Phil. You have your detractors. You have people who very much want to see you fail, or enjoy seeing you fail, or laugh seeing you fail. That does not
I am one of those people.
sound very fun to me, right? It doesn't sound like something that I would want to be a part of. Have you thought about going to therapy or anything along those lines to help you get through this? Because this is obviously not an easy life that you've chosen for yourself. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, and I would imagine that going to talk to somebody, therapy is not a bad word. It's a very good thing for a lot of people, where you can just go and get these things off your chest and talk about these things. Have you considered that ever?
At one point I did, for sure. I would say probably around, like I told you, around 2016 was one of the worst years of my life. I hated my job. My personal life was falling apart. But I didn't. I've never formally talked to anyone. I'm not anti-therapy or anything like that. But no, I just never gotten to that point where I've considered doing or seriously pursued that.
I'm just throwing this out there. Is it because you think that it's not you, it's everyone else?
No,
That's the feeling I get.
I'm a flawed human, man.
I know
every day.
you've admitted your flaws from the past. Like you say, like, yes, back in 2015 I said that fucked up shit, and I took that, you know, this is how not to play, way wrong, and I admit that now. But it's like, it's really easy to do that, right? To convince someone that you've changed. Not saying that that's what you're doing, but it could be. All right. So it's like, you know, it feels kind of like you can do no wrong almost, and that's the vibe I'm getting.
Whoa.
And
I could do
No.
no wrong. That
no, like not in your past, but it does feel like you kind of have like, what, I've changed, so people should understand that, and like, I don't know.
I know somebody that's like that, and they haven't changed at all, and I know that they haven't changed at all, and it's kind of crazy that they believe they have when they really haven't. Also, is the game? If I do that, does that lower it? Yeah, it does. Okay, that's fine. I've lowered the gain as much as I can, I guess. So it should be fine.
It's just a vibe that I'm getting, that because there's been so many times where we've asked a question and your response was instantly blaming other people, and that was a consistent answer throughout the entire 3 hours and 10 minutes that we've been live. So, you know, it's like a dishing responsibility elsewhere.
I think that's like if I can echo what Adam is saying, right? Like, Phil, we want nothing but good things for you, right? We don't want negative things to come from this. The whole idea of this was, to allow you an opportunity to kind of talk through things. I mean, and Adam is correct. Pretty much, what about this? Well, my detractors or the people who are after me, at what point, you have taken accountability for some things, right? For this is how I was in the Street Fighter community. This is how I was then. But I feel like there are other things that have yet to be, you have yet to atone for, whatever the word is, that are just. I just go back to it, man. It just seems like there's just this mountain of evidence, and we're talking fucking JFK level conspiracy theory here. If all this stuff lines up the way it does, and if you were just to say like, yeah, I play WWE Legends, yeah, I'm addicted, yes, I have a problem with spending money on it, yes, I need to improve. I think people would be like, yeah, cool, let us help you, instead of stop lying, and that's what it feels like right now, man. It just, look, only you know the truth in your heart.
Like I said earlier, like Phil just needs to fucking admit that he's done shit. Like he just needs to admit it, but he never will, and that's his biggest downfall.
Right.
Right.
And the evidence attached to it, right? Which there is a mountain of, right?
Craig, you sound like a detective right now trying to get a confession. I'm just
no,
saying.
no. And it's not trying to. I'm not
Because he is.
trying to. I'm more trying to sound like fucking Dr. Phil.
I know, but there's a fine line between the two, and
I understand
I'll be honest,
that.
it feels like you're trying to get a confession, and I'm not trying to like make it weird and
right.
And
I apologize for
because
that.
You've already been there a couple times. So
I know,
it's like,
but I'm just having a really hard time getting through it, and I apologize if that's what it sounds like. That's not what I'm trying for.
You might not be able to get through it, Craig.
You're right. I may not, and for that I understand why people would be critical.
Right.
It just too much lines up.
With the situation I'm in, it's a lose-lose. There is no win. There is no win in this situation. There just isn't.
Well,
no matter what I do, there's a risk. There's a liability, and just like you said, even if I send you this screenshot, they won't care. They will not care.
Honestly, it depends, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I don't agree at all. There's people out there that would be like, damn, would be genuinely shocked, myself included, because I don't think you're gonna send that screenshot, but I truly believe it would be for the better.
I don't think Phil actually sent the screenshot either. But like I'm in the future from when this took place. Like but yeah, I don't think he did. And like that's just a massive red flag for Phil. Because it's like, well, you fucked up. And it sucks. Because like they said, like Craig gave Phil an easy out. And if he did admit it, people would probably be like, oh shit, okay, well, clearly he's got an issue. But he doesn't, and his main issue is he's addicted to lying as well. Like, that's a massive thing.
I think that, I mean, I don't know how many people who hate you know who Craig is, or can even trust Craig, or think that they'll probably just be like, oh, he photoshopped it. He edited out
exactly
his thing.
1 million%. That's
whatever.
It. That's the explanation.
So
I photoshopped it today.
So FaceTime with him. FaceTime him. Pull it up, and Craig will be like, we FaceTimed. And he opened I saw him open the app. I mean, there's ways around it that Craig would be like, I saw him do it live, right? I mean,
right.
Okay.
There's ways around that.
I will. Can I tell you a quick story as to why I am so not convinced that anything I do will help at all? Can I please just tell you a story?
Okay, let's. I guess we'll have to hear Phil tell the story, but I personally think that he's gonna be fucking lying, but whatever. Like we'll see what he thinks of the situation.
with me for
This
a
is
couple of minutes?
it's your show, Phil, man. Yeah, absolutely. Go crazy.
It's not my show. It's your
Well,
show.
Our
Jay. Come
our
on,
show,
man.
Craig.
Well, listen, we provide you a platform for you to
Thank
do it,
you.
and listen, you have thousands of people ready to listen to you right now. So
By the way, you guys have been great. You've been great interviewers. You've been completely fair with me. You've given me, thank you. You guys have been the fairest shake I've ever gotten on the internet right now. Seriously, and you should be commended.
I still cannot believe that Phil was like, oh, this interview turned out really well. Like, I cannot believe that. That to this day bewilders me to no end.
For being as neutral. I know you're saying he's trying to get a confession out of me. I don't feel that way. I don't feel pressured.
No,
This
he's
is
trying to
great.
help you. That's really
I
what I'm
know.
saying. But he sounded like it. So
All right. And the thing
Well-
is, he's not going to get a confession because I'm telling you, it's what I'm telling you. Is
I know,
true.
but
I'm not
it's
gonna
it's
confess to
it's clearly Craig trying to help.
anything. Okay.
So
So here's the story. Okay. When I was first talking with my now wife, okay, I was so scared that people were going to harass her or do things. We didn't live near each other. We had online communication. After talking for several months, we started dating. Okay, she flew out here on her own dime, by the way. It's another conspiracy that I paid for that way. No, that's not true. Started dating, and after a few months, she visited for Christmas. Okay, this was Christmas of 2017. I took some pictures while she was here, but I didn't take a picture of her face. I just took
I remember this. Okay, I remember this.
a picture of her back, decorating my Christmas tree, saying, here's someone nice who's in my life now. My life has changed because I had previously been in a relationship that was very public, and sadly, it turned out toxic. We broke up in 2016, or excuse me, early 2017. So this was like something new and positive that I wanted to share with everyone, but I was apprehensive about showing her face or anything. So all I showed was her back, decorating my Christmas tree. I talked about what we did when she visited. We made some brownies together. We did this, we did that. Very, very basic stuff. I'm not making this up. It's documented. You can look this up on the internet. I wonder if you guys have come across this. There were people, my haters, made up an entire fabricated story about that was not someone I was dating. That was an escort that I was paying. The money that I was bringing in on streams.
Right. Okay. So this was also debunked as it wasn't just Phil detractors. It was a whole scam that this couple were pulling, and so the story that Phil was telling is partially true, but tweaked to a degree because he's not gonna actually tell the proper story, I imagine, because that was a whole thing, and they had been scamming multiple people for like a couple of years, I think it was, which is in and of itself fucking wild, but that's neither here nor there.
I was paying for a European escort and flying this escort across the globe to spend Christmas with me. All right?
Right. Well,
They
but-
had evidence.
what
but-
does that have to do with anything, though?
We'll just continue, okay? They had
Okay.
evidence of it, documented evidence. Oh, look at this. There's a whole social media account of it, of the escort. Here's the logs of plane tickets. Here's the recipe for the brownies. It's well documented. Everyone said I was guilty. I maintained my innocence for about 3-4 months as she continued to visit me, and we had our relationship blossomed and all of that. Eventually, she moves in with me, okay? What ends up happening is, guess what? The whole thing was fake. It was
Right.
all my haters. They had made
And-
the whole situation up.
Well, now hold on, because you're talking about the narrative is that your detractors actually cleared you of that and said, like, no, this doesn't add up, right? They're looking for evidence of this thing adding up, and they're
After the fact.
and they're the ones who apparently put the evidence out that said, like, hey, this is not the case.
That's fair. What happened was for 3-4 months, they're making my life a living hell, just like with this WWE Champions thing. Phil is guilty. Look at all this evidence.
The difference is, though, Phil, right? And God forbid you're still watching this. If you are, you're a fucking tripper. Like, genuinely. But, like, the fact that you genuinely believe that your detractors were the ones that was doing that, and it wasn't. Like, like Craig said, they cleared your name. Like, they are the ones that found the evidence that it was a scam, and that they had been doing this to multiple people. So if anything, you owe your detractors a thank you for that, because I'm sure Kat wouldn't have been very happy if that wasn't cleared and it continued. Like, I genuinely believe that you owe the detractors an apology for that, which is fucking insane to even say.
It's all there. It's outright. And then, basically, when she moved in with me, well, now what are they going to... Now the narrative has to change, okay? So now they figure it out. It's fake. You're right. They did research. They found out it's these two people in Europe who apparently they do this all the time with other streamers. There was even a possibility they were going to try to extort me for money. Try to get them to shut up about it or something. Okay? So...
He actually said it.
Change positively when that was disproved? No. Nothing. They were on to the next thing already. They had already created 2-3 more narratives that they went on to. This is something concrete, almost exactly parallel to the situation. All this evidence, corroborating evidence, proving that it was real, it was real, it was real. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, we found out it was fake. Oh well, move on to the next. There was someone who made a video about it, okay? You probably know him, Craig. Did you watch the Secret Limited video about the $100,000?
I sure did.
You watched it. Secret Limited is someone who once a year makes a very negative video about me, highlights all my mistakes, puts it into one video. They made a video documenting this. They called it the escort saga, okay? The thumbnail for the video was me, my ex, I don't know why she was in it, and the escort's face, supposedly who it was. This gets disproven 3-4 months later. Did my detractors say, sorry about that, Phil, mea culpa, yo, we made a big mistake, let's forget? No. You want to know what he did? This is the same guy who made the WWE Champions video. He took the face of the escort and put a horse's head on it, and he said, my wife looks like a horse. He never took the video down.
That's amazing. Adam's fucking laughing.
He never
The fucking
apologized.
internet, though. Diaz.
I know.
Come on,
When
man.
these things get
Like, you have to laugh at that. Like, it's so fucking, like, obscure and, like, out there that if God forbid, if a photo of me and my partner got out on the internet, or, like, people were memeing it or shit, and somebody put, like, a horse's head or something on my partner's face, like, I would laugh, and I'm sure she would laugh too. But, like, oh, that's insane. Imagine, oh, no, that's fucking wild. Like, how could you not laugh at that? Like, it's so, like, obviously you'd be a bit pissed, and then you'd be like, that's kind of funny.
proven wrong, oh, move on to the next. It's just the next thing. I will send
So
you
wait,
a
so what does
screenshot,
this
I
have
will
to
a
do with it,
face-
though?
Because I will disprove anything, and they will just move on to the next. It will never end. That's what I mean.
So it's the internet. So who fucking cares then?
So then why even bother? Why bother with any of it? And that's the attitude I take. And now, Adam, you just hit dead on the head. Because this is the attitude I take now. This was not supposed to be an interview, right?
But, like, the thing is, right, I have one of those I don't give a fuck attitudes now. Like, I cared a lot when I was a kid. But now I'm just like, whatever. Like, whatever fucking happens. Like, currently I'm in a good spot in my life where I'm happy and it's good. And it's like, Phil can't, like, just shrug stuff off. He has to take everything as an attack. And it's genuinely insane that he can't just be like, oh, it's fine, or it's like just a laugh or some shit. But he has to take everything so seriously. Like, I obviously take some stuff seriously, and I shouldn't take some stuff, and if I take things too far, I'll obviously apologize. Like, there was a time recently where I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 with my friends. I went out to go walk the dog and stuff, and I came back, and I was in a different place, my health was low, and I was talking to an ox. Don't know how that happened. And I come back and I met with laughter, and I got annoyed because I asked a simple question, didn't get an answer, just got laughter, and I got really annoyed. And then, like, an hour later I apologized, and I was like, I shouldn't have acted like that. Like, I shouldn't have. And then it was all water under the bridge, because me and my friends, we know that it's all just a laugh, and, like, at the time, obviously it's not, but, like, Phil can't do that. Phil is so adamant that he has to be right and everything and stuff, and, like he said, even if he does disprove the WWE Champions thing, which he can never do, like, people won't ever fucking believe him. Like, I'm never gonna believe him because I know he's lying. It's too, there's too many connections and too many pieces of evidence to disprove it. Like, he can never disprove it at all.
I was just supposed to be a guest on your show. It wasn't my intention to ever come out and have it be like this. On my streams, we don't have this. That's why I wanted this to be the end all be all. You want my actual answers on this stuff. You watch this show, and that's the last thing I'm talking about, right? So this is off my streams. I'm making content. I just want to be left alone. They won't leave me alone. They're the ones who continue the narrative. I'm with Adam. It's the internet. It's going to go on forever. So then why even bother? Why disprove anything? It's on to the next anyway. So once I disprove WWE champions at great personal risk, okay, on to the next. And by the way, now something might happen to me because I exposed myself. So that's why I don't care about it anymore. I've really become, in the 15 years I've been a content creator, I have become so desensitized to this stuff. It's like, what's the next one? I don't care anymore.
If you truly don't care, then you won't bother sending him a screenshot. Because it doesn't matter to you then.
It doesn't matter either way. If anything,
who cares?
If I send Craig the screenshot, it would be out of like respect that he gave me his time today on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
but then
that's something to think about.
That's a lot of trust too, because again, I'm not saying Craig would ever do anything dishonest or expose me. I'm telling you, there's been times this exact situation has happened, and then something bad has happened to me because I did it.
I haven't. I'll tell you this. I haven't done anything to dissuade your trust or lose your trust. So look. Ultimately, this is your call, but the offer's there, and I know you said you didn't want to do anything, with your phone during this. Respect that. That's fine. But you realize that by leaving the door open, by even doing this after the stream, there still allows the opportunity. It goes back to the picture didn't happen. Like if somebody sees you pick up your phone right now on stream, you were to then email it to me right now on stream, and it was this was to happen literally right now in real time as people were watching.
It's on his bucket list. It's on his bucket list. But seriously, it's like number 3 on Craig's bucket list for that to happen right now. I'm just saying.
But once again, I think this is all done. It's all done. It's all done. All right, let's continue on, man.
Look, Phil will never do that. Phil is too set in his own ways, and he will never ever truly be free of anything. And even though he says he doesn't care, like it's the internet, he doesn't care. We know that that's all a lie, because he very much does care.
Bro, Phil, how the fuck did you not know the camera was on? You know what I'm talking about.
I wasn't going to talk about this, but
Are they going to talk about the incident? Are they genuinely going to talk about the incident? Oh, this is going to be fucking golden.
Dude, what the fuck, man? I mean, come on.
Sadly, when it happened, I tried to spin it. I tried to spin it in a very positive light, and I rolled with it. It's one of the rare times where I learned in my life, you roll with it and it'll go away. It never went away, but at least people, it's just something funny now, right? Imagine if I had reacted to that the same way I reacted to This Is How You Don't Play. Like, that would have been the end for me. Like, if this guy, what's he going to say? He didn't do it or whatever? Of course, it happened. It's something stupid.
Phil, it was the end of you regardless, because you jacked off in front of 1,800 people. There is no like coming back from that. Regardless, there is no real coming back from that, especially when we watched from when you started to when you finished, and then you were like, oh, camera's been on the whole time, huh? That alone, just your lack of reaction was fucking golden. And I it will be one of my favorite moments. As fucked up and weird as that sounds, it will forever be one of my favorite moments of film.
But the truthful story, sadly, is not happy. Okay, here's the truth. I've told it before, but never in this context. So in 2016, it was probably the second worst year of my life. Everything was falling apart in my personal life. I moved out.
I thought 2016 was the worst year of your life. Well, it's the second worst year of your life. Are you sure, Phil? Are you sure 2023 is not the worst year of your life? Because your revenue is really dipping this year.
Here to Washington. I used to live in Connecticut my whole life. I moved to Washington in 2014 with my then girlfriend. Our relationship was great. Over the course of 2 years of systematic harassment on the internet, being swatted, doxxed, all this stuff, her family members being harassed, my family members being harassed, our whole relationship fell apart. Okay? In 2016,
the reason why your relationship fell apart, Phil, was because you fucking didn't care enough about her. Like, that's your issue. I mentioned it earlier, and I'm not gonna bring it back up because I'm not gonna rehash it. But it was your fault.
I was living with her, and we had 2 separate lives. It was like 2 roommates rather than a romantic relationship. It was messed up. Like, we're supposed to be together, and we're really not.
You're like that with Kat. You're still like that. That's just the type of person you are. You're not a romantic person.
Got to the point where she went off and had her own life. She had her own friends, her own job. I was doing my thing. When no one knew this. Everyone thought everything was fine. We pretended, we smiled, whatever. No one knew that. I was depressed. I was really messed up in the head at that point. The way that I saw it was, this room was the only place in the house where she never went. She never came in here. Okay? So this room was like my safe space. I know that sounds stupid, but it was like, this is the one place I can be away from that. And I can have my own safe place. And in particular, I couldn't tell you the specific day when it happened, but I guarantee you it was something awful that happened, an argument, a fight, whatever it was. And I came in here, and back then, I was very different. Today I'm professional. I have layouts blocking the screen and everything. Back then I just had, you know, my
you got
dashboard.
like a couch in the corner that you
Exactly.
can go do that now.
Yeah. So I had the camera had been left on from the day before. Back then I didn't do face cam like I do today. Today this is a common thing to have the face cam on every single stream. Back then it was a rarity. I only did it for like FromSoft games where I was going to get really upset. People like to see me rage on camera, right? So that, again, that meant that dark side Phil character. I left it on. And so I come in here and I'm feeling like shit. I feel awful, like probably depressed, awful thing. And I beat one off to relieve myself before a stream. And then it's all over the internet. And I'm like, oh, the camera was on, huh?
So it was depression.
Oops. It was part of it. It was definitely part of it. Like, obviously you don't sit down in front of a, why would you even do that? I mean, what an idiot to do that, even in a situation, but it was probably something so horrible, another argument. There's many of those.
He should have put the camera lower and put it on Pornhub. Yeah, I'm sure, or like if OnlyFans was around back then, I'm sure he would have got something for it. I'm sure.
So you said the camera was on, and then you started the stream and then did that, or like you were prepping for a stream, but the camera was on, so it just happened?
Yes. So basically, I
have a question. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to walk my through. Okay. What was the lead time between starting the stream and completion? Because that's pretty fucking impressive. I'm just kidding.
Not long, man. It was, I would turn on the stream. I call it the pre-stream roll or whatever. So you had to
I don't.
Message.
I really don't care. I really don't care.
The pre-stream.
The
roll.
pre-stream roll. The whole
Oh my
routine.
god.
Oh Lord. All right.
So it's a normal thing.
No, it's not. Obviously, no. It wasn't.
You got a name for it, Phil. You got a name for it.
He said it.
I turn on the stream to
He said it.
into the
Oh,
stream
thank
is called
God.
the pre-stream.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
That's not a routine I do every day. No.
I mean, it'd be a hell of a pre-show. I'm just saying. Like,
So here's the thing.
probably.
It's the Patreon exclusive pre-stream.
Hey, you could monetize, as our friends from Geeks and Gamers say, you could monetize the haters. You could start a wicked OnlyFans, Phil. I'm just saying, a wicked OnlyFans.
What did I say? What did I fucking say? Oh, fucking Jesus.
Oh,
and
jeez.
here's the narrative. Here's the truth of the matter. First of all, it took place on YouTube, not on Twitch. All right? There was maybe 20, 30 people there when it happened because I just turned the stream on, right? And it was right, you know, laptop in front of me or whatever, cameras on. So embarrassing. But what's the narrative now? Darkside Phil masturbated in front of thousands of people, including small children, on the internet, live on Twitch, and didn't get banned for it. When did that happen?
Well,
It was-
CNN rehired Tubin after he jerked it in a friggin' Zoom meeting. So, I
Right.
mean, things can happen, dog. You know?
Thankfully, the camera was not panned down. That would have been very, very bad. Thank God it was, you know, the angle that it was at. No one wants to see.
Okay. Oh,
Anyway.
so it doesn't
All right.
it doesn't show anything because I haven't seen it and
Oh
I don't
no,
want
no,
to see
it's
it.
just it's actually like from the neck up, and it's kind of just like me tilting my head back and looking at
Yeah,
my
oh,
asshole.
yeah. Okay,
That's it.
so
It's just the
My
street
O
release.
face. It's just my O
hey
face.
man,
That's it.
there's been worse videos of prominent YouTubers with their heels above their heads, and it's been worse.
But I'm the one.
Wow.
That's sadly that's the association a lot of people will always have with me. Is that's how I became known on the internet in
I genuinely wonder. Wait,
2016.
yeah, I genuinely wondered how many people were watching at that time, because, like, I don't want to be spreading misinformation, but I'm sure that he done it in front of a lot of people, because like this was back when Phil was like kind of popular to a degree, and it's unreal.
And, you know,
All right,
well,
all
how am
right.
I ever going to live that down? If anything, here's what I learned from it. That's going to always, no matter what these idiots say about me, that's always going to be my most embarrassing moment.
All right, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to give you some advice. All right, I want to give you some advice right now. You need to own it, and you need to have a box of tissues behind you
And a t-shirt.
as a fucking
Like-
joke, dude. Troll
Yeah.
him back.
Here's
Fuck
the
it.
thing. Here, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. However,
Yeah.
again, you have to understand something. We're joking about it. It's funny to joke about it and own it, but actually, it's representative of a really bad time in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Okay, that
depressing-
makes sense. Yeah, sure,
it's a
sure.
depressing thing. My wife doesn't ever want to talk about it. You know, she knew. I
Hey.
mean, think about this. She met me after, and
Get
she
it?
still likes me. She married me
Yeah.
after that. So obviously, she's moved past. She doesn't want to talk about it. It's like, why am I going to
Phil,
monetize the most
Phil.
embarrassing moment?
Phil,
You know.
beat. Damn it, that would have sounded so bad.
Yes.
I was gonna say beat your demons, but in this context,
Pretty
it's-
good. Pretty
it's
good.
like shit.
That's very
I
good.
mean, conquer your demons. You
Right.
know what I
Right.
mean? Like that. You're like, I don't want to like go there, but it's like, no, fuck that.
All right.
Like face it and you know, conquer your demons. I didn't mean to make that pun. That was unintentional, but it was so good. But you know what I'm saying, right? I'm trying to like. You
Yes.
say you don't want to go there, but like
Right. You're not
conquer
the only
it,
person
dude.
who said
Own
that.
it.
You're not- you're
Own
definitely
it.
not the
Own that
only
shit.
person. The problem is, again, when you focus on a focal point like that and it becomes your end all be all, I don't want that to be what I'm remembered for. It probably will be, but I want people who
It will be.
to every day to remember that awesome stream they had or that cool gameplay through that we did. I don't want them to think about the guy who had an old face beat off on stream. Like, it's so stupid. And it's such a dumb thing that I've moved past. I'm not in that part of my life anymore. I'm so much happier now that I don't need to dwell on the past anymore. I don't need to think about that moment. It was stupid, and yeah,
Well,
I
I'll
don't
say
want
this,
to be
if-
there forever.
If you're not going to monetize it, we will. Later tonight, the Beat Your Demons t-shirt will be available all on the store.
Oh my god! And it's no, that's
That would be-
terrible, dude.
That would be brilliant. I hope that they did that. I don't think they would have.
Really good, really good. I just thought it was really funny. All right.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a few things that I want to circle back with you on, Phil. Phil, you still there? You look like you're frozen.
Did we lose him?
I hope not.
Oh shit!
Oh, well, if he
Oh,
drops,
shit.
well, he can come back in. Yeah,
Goddamn.
he does look frozen and such. But
I was just kidding. I
Of
mean,
course,
I couldn't help the puns. They wrote themselves.
Phil, make sure you pop back in. I'm sure that he will. I doubt that he quit because he would have been dropped from the thing. It's definitely an internet issue of some sort.
Must
So
be frozen.
I do not think that he rage quit or anything like that. So Phil, you can just pop back in whenever you're ready, and we'll keep going. But there are a few things that I want to circle back on.
Right,
Mainly on the
Oh, there you go.
5K. Okay, let's see. He dropped, so he'll pop back in. I do want to circle back on the business expense because I feel like Phil kind of skirted that question a little bit. No, we didn't really
He
get
very much
the
did.
idea of- I don't know, man. Like I said, it's if we can have a little one-to-one here, I feel like there's just so much here that doesn't add up. You know.
Man,
Adam's loving this now.
I mean, I don't believe him. I don't. There's too many things. I mean, I caught him lied, and then he admitted a minute later that I was right, and it's just like,
Yeah.
man, that your whole credibility was already shaky, and
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying this now because he's not here. I mean, you guys, I've been very blunt to his face. I'm not gonna like, if he hears me, it's not like I mean, I straight up told him I didn't believe him about that joke that he made, and it's just like, dude, that's such bullshit, So,
Well, while we have a second, hopefully Phil's going to rejoin.
I wonder
us.
if he does.
I did want to thank everybody for.
Okay, let me skip it.
I said I don't want to make this weird for Phil, but
Oh.
so while we have a second and Phil's not with us, I'm actually going to invite somebody to the chat.
Oh, it's Keemstar. Oh shit.
All right.
right.
Keemstar is joining us. Hello, Keemstar. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Oh shit.
Good. It's nice to meet you. You guys have absolutely crushed this. I think you've done more than a fair job with Phil here, and especially like how difficult he is. But with him talking about the $50,000 offer and the Lol Call podcast, I just really wanted to get on to say my piece because he's just dishonest. And I think you guys experienced this, right? He had an opportunity to clear his name so easily, and he just put it off and made excuse, and then goes on to bring up some other situation with hookers and some other lies. And it's like every content creator has been lied about, right? But in
True.
this one issue where he could just prove his innocence so quick and he doesn't take advantage of it, then it's like, and
I told him it's just making you more sus. Like that, it's making me trust your story less. That you're not like, you know what? I want to fucking prove this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick of these lies. Let's prove it.
Well, I'll say this. Look, Keem, we appreciate you hopping on. Phil has rejoined us. Phil said he didn't want to be on the show if you were on it. So I'll say, can we invite you back on after we're done with Phil?
sure, sure, absolutely.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to bring Phil back on. We don't want to make things weird, so appreciate you understanding, man. And you have the link. I'll DM you when we're ready. Okay, buddy?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Keem. Appreciate it, man. All right. Boof.
There we go. That's
Phil,
wow, there
welcome
he
back,
is.
man. Sorry, we had a second. We wanted to. He had reached out and he
Oh,
wanted
I
to
know,
get
I
his
saw.
side of it. We appreciate you running with it, man. So
Phil's not gonna be happy.
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what just happened. My whole internet went down and came back up, and I don't know if it was my ISP or if I
shit.
got them DDoS. I would not put it past them to DDoS me. At this
Wow, Phil. You have been
To my
live
knowledge, my IP
for
address.
3.5 hours.
But if it happens again, I get.
You were live for 3.5 hours. Why would it take them 3.5 hours to fucking DDoS you? That makes no sense.
We kind of know, right?
Well,
I
hope that's
have
not
no
the
clue.
case.
I
Hope
hope
that's not
not
the
either,
case.
because that's a lot of work for me. I have to call my cable company then to get it fixed. It's not
Right.
pretty.
All right. Let's circle back on some stuff here, man. And
Did I
there's
miss
a few things-
anything? Did I
No.
miss anything?
Yeah, there's a few things that I feel like we kind of went through, and I feel like we do need to kind of address. And I want to circle back to like the business expenses, because we talked about the 5K, we talked about that, and but we didn't really get an answer, right? Like, and this kind of all ties in together. The idea of like, as somebody who works online, I've been doing this for a long time as well. I understand that spending 5K on anything is a lot, and the idea of a mortgage being a business expense, that's not necessarily true. You can from a
Again, I
tax
don't know.
perspective, you can allow me to tell you, because from a tax perspective, you can take the square footage of your office space in your house, and that can be deductible, right? And you can use that as a business expense. You can take the internet and do those things, but your entire house, your entire mortgage is not something that can be a business expense, right? So
I didn't think that was legal. I don't think that's legal.
Right. It's not,
Shit.
It's not the way it goes. But with all that said, I feel like there's with everything lined up, right? there's still a
God.
lot. Like, are you spending that money on food, or what are you spending that money on it? Because you can pay for meals out and things like that, as long as you technically talk about business. I've done that hundreds of times, where you go out to a meal and you say, well, we're gonna have a business meeting, and it's just you and your wife talking about whatever, right?
Oh shit, wait, you can do that?
One of those things. But
Oh,
walking once
yeah.
again, like, what are your month-to-month business expenses? What are you paying for as a streamer who works 12 hours a day? Kind of walk me through this.
Well, again, I could tell you what I'm doing now. I mean, we're talking. What people are referencing is something from like 2019, I think, right? It's a tax return from, like,
Sake.
Well,
60%.
but I want to know about today. I want to know about today. Like your expenses that you have on a month-to-month basis. What do those look like? Are your
Okay.
expenses?
You know what? How about this? Give me 1 second.
Sure,
Oh.
do your thing. Yeah,
Oh,
this should be fun. All right, Phil is off, and it looks like I wonder what he's. This could be a surprise.
I genuinely wonder what this
I'm
is.
an old man. Okay?
Yes.
I do something that no one else does. I use paper and I write on it to track things. No one
Yo,
else.
I do
Hold
that.
on.
That's crazy.
Before you show anything, I want
Oh,
to
I'm
make
not
sure.
gonna show. I'm gonna read something. Don't worry, I'm not gonna
Okay.
show anything. I'm gonna read
Okay.
something.
Of course he's
What I
fucking
like to
not.
do is kind of go through here because people say every day, where does your money go? That's what essentially that's what you're asking, right? Where
Yeah.
does the money
Yeah.
go? What's coming in? I will 100. Uh-oh, you guys are chopping. Tell me.
No,
it's
you're
not
good.
too
You're
dusty.
good. You're good. You're
I'm
good. Keep
good?
going. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Here we go. I'm gonna go through this. I'm not exaggerating. Line for line, this is what I'm paying this month, and this is all, where
Please.
all my money goes, plus a few other things. Okay, and this is literally all of it.
Great.
I have a subscription to Hulu. It's $10 a month.
Business expense. Okay.
Definitely not a business expense. I'm just saying this is where my money goes. This is everything. I'm serious. I'm gonna cover it all.
Okay. Sure.
I am.
I actually had to cancel my Netflix subscription because it's fucking extortionate and it was bleeding money out of me. I don't use my Netflix. So the fact that Phil pays for Hulu, and I'm pretty sure he pays for like other subscription services as well. Like I still pay for Amazon, but that's fine because that's a yearly thing. And I still get student on that, so it's cheaper. But let's see what else Phil spends on.
My internet. I have 2 internet lines that I pay for. They're very expensive because they're unlimited internet. It's it's not an hourly. It's like you have to pay a ton of money.
Hourly? Who pays for hourly internet?
No, not hourly. It's unlimited.
Oh, I thought you said that. Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I meant to say data rates, not hourly. My bad.
Got it.
Data rates.
Fucking idiot.
I have my dues here where I live. I live in a community, a condo facility.
Condo?
Monthly dues.
Mhm.
I've got. Let's see here.
I mean,
Game Pass.
but you're reading off personal expenses, and that's no one's business.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
reading off
It's-
everything. I
it's-
don't care. I'm reading off
Well-
everything so you know where my money goes. Because this is what they want. They want to know where all my money goes. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think it was about the $5,000, the business expense.
It is about the $5, the $5,000.
How is this the case? So you're now giving them more shit when you were very seemingly very nervous about giving anyone any more information that isn't public. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to, before you continue, it just seems like this is counterintuitive for where you have said your stance is on like revealing public information. So like,
Well, I'm not gonna tell you any account name. I don't
You're such a
yeah, no, I
fucking
understand.
idiot.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
get
saying?
that, but still, it's still personal stuff. That it's like, all right, well, I don't understand what. That's not what the subject was about. It
Right.
was about the business expenses.
Right.
These aren't business expenses that you're reading off. It's personal stuff.
Some of this would be considered business, and some wouldn't. Like I was just gonna say, Game Pass. That's.
But what's the
that's-
point? Is kind of where I'm leaning. Like, what is the reason for giving us your personal expenses?
Because people want to know where my money goes. You're asking
Your
me
business, the business
Okay,
expense
you're
money. That's what
specifically
that's what they're
asking me-
talking about.
You're
That's what
specifically-
I've seen on the internet. That's what I've seen that people are upset. There's the business expenses, the 5,000, and then like I don't know where this like $500,000 thing is or what that even is, but there's some questions.
$500,000.
Yeah, I
Holy
don't know. I don't.
shit.
I heard. I've seen. I didn't look into that much because I have multiple shows that I do, and I couldn't dedicate too much to learning about you. So I figured I'd come and just hear from you. But like that's from what I've seen. It's the business expenses that's what people want to know about. Like how are you spending that much money on the business?
Here's the thing: if you were to nickel and dime every single transaction I do, when it comes to like video games and stuff like that, I don't think it gets close to that. I think I don't know how it was divvied out in those, in that report or whatever they used for the bankruptcy. I don't know how it's calculated.
You had to
I'm not my bankruptcy attorney.
Phil, you had to fill out a bankruptcy form. Like, nobody else could do that. Only you could. Like, you couldn't even get your tax guy to do it. Like, you had to fill it out. And you put that it was $5,000. You put that you have no pets. And shit like that. Like, you lied about the collection of figures you have. Like, I will I will be able to tell you that I have a bunch of Gundam figures, I have a PlayStation 5, I have a Switch, I have a TV, I have a computer, I have a record player, I have a bunch of manga, I have records, I have art books, I have the White Snow edition of Near Replicant, I have the special edition, the collector's edition of P5 Royal, I have a couple of JoJo figures, I have an amiibo, like, I have a bunch of shit. Like, I have a fucking Blue Yeti mic and stuff. And stuff like that, I would have, like, if I was to file for bankruptcy, I would have to list. Like, I would have to list all of the shit that I have. Because they would be like, well, you should sell some of it. Or, like, you should sell at least a bit of it. Because you can get money. But Phil won't ever do that, because Phil couldn't. He lied. And that's absolutely fucking horrendous that he lied about that. Like, of all the things that Phil could have lied, like, had to lie about, it had to be about his bankruptcy, and that's, like, unfucking real. And he's not gonna ever, I don't think he's ever gonna explain the $5,000 business expenses, because it's unreal.
I'm not my CPA. I know it's done right because I went through it with the bankruptcy judge, line by line. So
Is that where that large number comes from? Is the bankruptcy number, like how much debt you had?
Oh,
I'm
maybe.
trying to take a. Oh, I felt.
Maybe.
You know, right? I mean, if that's what
I don't know the total number of debt.
Seems like a pretty
no.
big moment in your life that you would.
Like,
know.
you should know how much debt you have.
You know, it's not a milestone. Oh man, I'm so happy I got $500,000 off my bank.
I'm not
Oh,
saying
no.
it's a good milestone.
No,
but-
it's a horrible milestone. Something I want to move past.
You would remember that amount.
Past, but I don't know. Maybe that's what that number is. But again, I don't know. I can't go line item by line item. I don't know. It's from years and years ago. And guys, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
you
good.
froze again.
You're good.
Jeez.
You're good.
It's
You're good.
freezing.
You're good.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they call me Mr. Freeze, so.
Okay. But yeah, like I can't, I don't have that. I don't know. I would assume, this is my assuming, that data includes anything that's considered associated with the business or not. I don't know. Again, I can, without going through it, because I'm not going to go through all of it anyway. That would be exposure to talk about all that stuff, I feel. Okay. A couple things that no one knows. I guess I have to. I didn't want to do this. I really don't want to do this, but, again,
Phil, you do what you're comfortable with, man. I think that's the biggest thing. Is
I really
you
don't
don't,
want to.
like-
Let me go put the paper away. I'm going to tell you. Okay, hold on.
Such a fucking bastard.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to talk about shit, but I have to. It sucks.
Well,
That
No,
is
you
the
don't.
position, man.
You said like 30 minutes ago you don't give a shit, and it doesn't make a difference. So, pick a point. Pick a place to stand.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Either you don't give a shit and you're gonna move on and let the haters hate you no matter what because there's nothing you could do, or try to appease them. It's not. You can't be somewhere in the middle where you're like, I might appease you. I might
Adam,
actually do this. I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Adam,
it's
I don't care
one
about
or the
them.
other.
I care about you guys. I care
So you're
about my
sit-
viewers. I care about
Right.
these neutral parties out there who've heard so much nasty stuff about me. At least have a place to listen and hear my side. That's what this is. And I appreciate you guys so much for giving me this time. I really do. I'm sorry I'm getting emotional now, thinking of, but, all right, I'm just going to, fuck this. I'm going to do it.
Is he
I'm
gonna
gonna
cry?
tell you a few things that no one knows without specifics, okay? So it doesn't really put anyone under the bus or anything. I've been involved in a few different, legal things over the years. I've been involved with medical issues, my own health and my wife's, all right? And it's not stuff I should talk about with my audience. I don't want my audience to come to my stream and be like, I want to give you a tip because I found out that you have maybe a medical issue or something going on. That's no one's business. I've said to let me explain. I said to my audience, if you're going to come to a DSP Gaming or a DSP React stream, please come support me because you like me and my content, okay? Don't come support me because you want to stick it to the haters. I don't want that pity party. Keep that, let them celebrate whatever. Come and just support me for my content. If I tell you stuff that's going on that are expenses, medical expenses, legal expenses, and it's again, I'm not going to tell you, I have some medical conditions,
Well,
Okay,
then this is your forum.
the
dude.
debt.
Like this is your forum, Phil, right? If there's some sort of like medical condition that is causing you to live, paycheck to paycheck or stream to stream, you pride yourself on transparency. I can't think of anything more transparent than just telling your audience you have something going on. And like, you know what, people are people and they'll understand that. Like if God willing I came out and I had cancer or something bad happened, I would.
It's not that. It's definitely not that. Okay, I don't want to make
Right.
anyone think that I'm trying to. Again, this is not a pity party here.
It is a pity party though, Phil. Like, Phil, like, if Phil could, right, actually, no, Phil has, if Phil could, like, say his medical conditions and shit, like, he has. He's been like, oh, my back's bad and shit, and then people donate money, and then he's like, oh, my back's fine now. That's, like, he does that frequently. And like, I have a bad back. Like my lower back's fucked. My upper back is fucked because I have shit posture. But that's a me issue, and that's it's fine. But like, Bill would 100% milk shit if he could, and I know that. It's unfucking believable.
Right.
It's not that. It's that I have a few chronic lingering things that come back over the years, and then yes, there's a medical cost. There's deductible, of course. You have to pay to a certain amount. In a nutshell, I've been involved with a few legal things, and I've been involved with some medical things. Okay, and essentially what's happened over the years is I can't really pay them because of the financial situations that I've been in. Okay, and
Did you pay any of those? Did you pay any of those things as business expenses?
I believe, and I don't know if this is true or not. Isn't it?
How do you not know, Phil? You're the one that filed for bankruptcy. You're the one that should have filled it out properly. You're the one that should have fucking done it. Why do you not know this? How do you not fucking know this? Like, that is unfucking believable. That Phil is like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what was put on the bankruptcy thing or whatever. Like, how do you not fucking know? That's unbelievable. Like, that's fucking unbelievable.
True that certain, like your health insurance premiums and stuff is covered or is a tax deductible? I don't know. Again, I get asked this by my tax guy. I do. He says,
Your tax guy was asking you this?
Fucking Adam just shaking his head.
The other day that said, we need your breakdown of what you pay for premiums, if you had any medical expenses, if you had any of this. We need all this to file your taxes properly.
That doesn't sound right, dude.
I don't know. Again, no, listen, please. Here's the problem. I don't want people going over my tax guy. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing.
I fucking doubt that now. I really doubt this tax guy knows what he's doing. I think this tax guy is like fucking Phil over. I genuinely think it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Phil's accidentally committing tax fraud. Like, it seems like the sort of thing that Phil would do. Like, genuinely seems like the sort of thing that Phil would do. And it's kind of wild.
He's a
I mean,
professional.
But he clearly doesn't, because you've been in
It
tax
doesn't
issues.
sound like it.
No. My tax issues are not, or from before this shit. They really are. I used to have tax issues with the old account. You might be getting the stories mixed. I used to have an old guy who fucked everything up. This person I have now has fixed everything. Okay? I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. This guy is great, and I want people to understand that. Okay? But basically, okay, I have a few ongoing things. When you don't have credit anymore, okay, but you still owe, some things can get erased, some things can't. All right, by a bankruptcy or whatever, and I'm in a situation where I have ongoing costs that I'm on payment plans for. Okay, not credit card. I can't get a credit card. I have no credit. My credit sucks because I have bankruptcy. No, I have payment plans. So, for example, I incur a legal cost of several $1,000s. Okay, Phil, you don't have to pay that today. You could pay it slowly over time. Here's your payment plan. Right? With the IRS, I owe them back taxes. Phil, we understand. As long as you're in repayment status, you're paying this amount every month. This is, you know what I mean? So that's where my money goes. I'm embroiled in all these ongoing things behind the scenes that absolutely no one needs to know about. Medical stuff, legal stuff that I'm going through, and tax stuff. And where does your money go? And then just think about this. I'm streaming 6 days a week full time. I'm stressed some days, you know? And then I got to come on my stream and hear you blew all your money on mobile games. My wife and me are feeling so much stress with this going on. And, you know, we didn't go on a honeymoon when we got married. We haven't been on a trip since 2019. We haven't done anything.
Phil, I get it. We understand, which is why, you know, we talked about therapy. We've talked about all these things.
You're
we
right.
understand,
Mhm.
right? We've talked about all these things. But you still haven't answered the question. I'm going to ask you this really directly, okay? On a month-to-month basis,
Mhm.
how much money are you spending on WWE mobile games and or any other mobile games on a month-to-month basis? Are you spending on iTunes or any sort of mobile device?
Okay.
Just a straight dollar amount. Whatever it is, it's
month-
okay.
Okay. Do you want? Okay. This month, I have spent probably $10 to $15.
Fucking lies.
That is an honest answer.
Fucking lies. This man has not spent $10 to $15 on a mobile game. I thought he spent way more than that.
And by the way, it wasn't on WWE Champions.
Okay, what was it on? Just curious.
Well, here we go, because you know if I tell you, they're just gonna blow it up. They're gonna.
No,
go
okay,
after
don't
it.
worry about it. Don't worry about it then. Don't worry about it. If
They
you say
already
it's
said it's
Fucking excuses. It's like, oh, if I tell you, they'll fucking look it up and shit. It's like, there's no winning with you, Phil. There really is not.
It's a Street Fighter game.
okay, the new Street Fighter one. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it good?
What
It's all right. It's one of those you build a team of fighters. They fight against each other. It's not even have to be
It's like
Okay.
tap RPG. crap.
similar. Yes.
Okay,
And
I
you know,
have-
that was just for experimental purposes. I'm not playing it a lot. I'm playing every once in a while. You know, I spend I'll spend $1 and get a bunch of stuff. You know, so I spend a couple dollars here or there. And of course, I will get destroyed for saying that I spent $15 on it. You know, I will. I'm going to get destroyed for it.
So let me kind of move this along. We've been going for a long time, and thank you again, Phil, for your time.
Mhm.
Appreciate it. We're approaching 4 hours. I got a few things that I want to make sure we hit on before we go.
Sure.
Before we can move forward. So number one, Keem is here, and Keem has said that he will be respectful, and he would love to talk. I think this is a tremendous opportunity to bury whatever hatchet or whatever it is you guys have and mend a
This is never gonna happen. If it does, I will be shocked. Because, again, I have not seen this. But I think he might turn up. Because it seems to jog a slight memory.
fence. I think this is a tremendous opportunity. Are you open to that?
If you want him on the show to talk, I'm not doing business with this man under any circumstances.
Yeah, you established that. That's fine. That's not
Yeah.
what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not trying to broker a business deal or anything like that. But are you open to talking with him now?
I'm curious what he even wants to talk about. I'm not being on his stuff. I refuse. So
Well, I'm going to bring him on. Right?
Wait. So you're okay with him coming on to talk?
as long as he's not going to sit here and insult me or do, you guys have already asked me so many questions. I don't want him
Right.
interrogating me too. It's your
No,
show, not his.
that's not.
Right.
I mean, Keem, he's watching obviously, so it's like that's not the case. We're the interviewers. He just said it. He agrees.
Yeah, he agrees. So look, we're going to bring him on, and like I said, I think this is not a tremendous opportunity for friction.
This is gonna be fucking amazing.
There's an opportunity to build a bridge. So let's do this real quick. Keemstar, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. And Phil, thank you for letting me on to talk to you directly. I do mean what I said here in the chat, that I will be respectful. I'm not here to interrogate you, but I desperately want to represent my point of view in this situation between me and you. Because what I've heard listening to this podcast or this interview or whatever you want to call it is you describing problems that you have in your life, paying bills, being harassed by, your detractors or whatever. And I actively went out of my way to solve major problems in your life. And me and you are not friends. In fact, before I put together this business opportunity for you, me and you were fighting back and forth. It started with you on your podcast out of nowhere reacting to me retiring when I turned 40, and you said, well, that guy's evil, and all these horrible stuff and blood money, whatever you said about me, because you don't like my show Drama Alert. And many of your detractors picked up on right away that the reason why you don't like my show and you don't support me is because we covered the fapping situation in 2016.
Well, that's
that is the
completely
root.
untrue.
Okay.
You covered it
Go
fairly.
ahead, respond, Phil.
You covered it fairly. You didn't even really harp on it.
Oh
One of
shit.
you guys contacted me behind the scenes, said, "Do you have anything else to add? Do you want to be on the show?" I was like, "No." You covered it fairly. I don't think you were unfair at all. That's not the case.
Thank you, because I don't think I was unfair either.
No, not at all. Who told you that? That's bullshit. That's the detractors
That's
making shit up.
Holy shit.
everybody jumped to that conclusion. Why you had such a hateful response to me retiring was because of that. Because we
No.
have no previous history, Phil.
Correct.
I've never talked to you. The only interactions I've ever had with you is just covering this one story about you.
Mm-hmm.
And just, this is a great example of why I wanted to bring you on, because there's clearly a miscommunication somewhere along the lines, right? Clearly. So, Phil thought Keemstar did this, Keemstar thought Phil did this. All right. So we're in a better place.
So to move on from
When you're setting children down to talk to each other, and it's like, okay, are you gonna play together now? It's so fucking funny.
that, I see a clip and it's on Phil's stream. He's reacting to my retirement and he's saying I'm this horrible, evil person, da 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 da, and he doesn't support me. And I responded.
Hold on, Keem, is that true, Phil?
I don't
Like-
know. I'm sure I criticized him. I don't know specifically what he said.
Okay, continue.
I
Keem.
don't
Fuck's
know
sake.
exactly what was said. I'm going off of memory, but it was something along those lines. The clip gets sent to me by multiple people. So I respond to Phil because the only thing I know about Phil is him being a lol cow, right? Him on stream begging for money to pay rent and stuff like that. That's all I know about him. So I responded to him on Twitter, which I thought was pretty clever, in gaming terms. And I explained to him that like we are roughly the same age. We've been doing YouTube for like 15 years each. We started at the same time. And I'm retiring now and I don't ever have to work again. So I have completed this video game of YouTube. And I said to Phil, you're still on level 1. All right. You're still on level 1 and you're restarting, level 1 over and over again like a video game, and you're getting nowhere. You're still at the point where you're begging people on stream to pay your bills and whatnot. And I thought that was a good response, right? Even though I am talking trash and, we got a little drama going on for Twitter and whatnot, I thought that I was actually giving you good advice. And,
I'd say that that's pretty good. Like, Phil does have the level 1 podcast, and Phil hasn't really, if anything, Phil's gotten worse as time has gone on. And it's unreal to think that somebody like I personally don't like Keemstar, but like he's a smart man and he speaks logic. And like the fact that he's able to retire at the age of 40 is fucking unreal. Like, I wish I could do that. Like, I would love to be able to retire. But I probably won't be able to. But also, I'm not really trying my hardest to do what I can with my life. But then again, I'm also still kind of young. I've still got a lot of time to go. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Is that advice or is that more like, because in
That
text
felt like
form,
a backhanded smack
Right.
with internet Twitter battles.
100%, 100%. But it's also advice, right? My point in those Twitter videos was that Phil needs to do something different. Imagine you're playing a video game, you're on level 1, and you try the same technique over and over again. All right. And you're dying and you have to restart the level over. Like, you're never going to beat level 1. And that's the situation that Phil has been in.
right? And Phil, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like there's any truth to that, or do you feel like that Keemstar is out of his way to kind of make you look a fool?
Well, first of all, the best way to give life advice is to, say it in an insulting way for sure. I mean, that's very makes everyone very receptive to it, correct?
Yep.
You know,
Right.
I'm sure
Well,
they do a nice
fair point, but-
backhanded slap at
Let him
someone
finish, King.
on Twitter. Is there some truth to it? Yes. Okay. But here's the thing: if you have a criticism of me, then criticize me fairly in a way where maybe I have a chance to have a conversation. Instead, you just go to your platform and you say something nasty about me on there. I'm a tiny little guy. Okay. When I say something on my
Phil, you are not a tiny little guy. Like, I'm a tiny little guy. Like, Phil, you have like 200,000 people subscribed to your YouTube channel. I have like 49. Then again, I don't put shit up on my YouTube channel. I have 74 followers on Twitter. On Twitch, I have like 149 followers on Twitter. Like, I am small. I am teeny. I'm fucking like sardines or like neon tetras compared to like the trouts and the carps and shit of the bigger people, like the bigger fish. But like, Phil cannot say that he is a small channel, because he isn't. Like, he is a small audience, but he is not a small channel. Like, a lot of people know who Phil is.
stream, who hears it? A couple hundred people. Yes, my detractors then echo it. They extrapolate it all over the internet. Boom, it's amplified, correct? But I'm the little guy. You are a big guy, Keen. You're huge. You have a giant reach on the internet. Do you not understand that the stuff that you say and do has repercussions for everyone around you?
Even though that you are also a small, like, even if you are a small channel, quote unquote, Phil, your actions have repercussions too. Like, what you say has repercussions. And this was the fucking culmination of all of those consequences of your actions.
You seem to be someone that you're not self-aware. You don't understand that when you say something like that, now I have to live with that shit.
You aren't self-aware either, Phil.
You're on level 1. Phil, level 1. Yo, you've been for 15 years. You're just on level 1. Do you think I need that? I already have enough shit in my life going on. So much stuff. I don't need Mr. Big Time punching down on me, which is what you do. That's why people don't like you, man.
I didn't
How do
see
you
it.
not understand that?
I didn't see it that way. I saw a clip of you talking all kinds of shit on me, like unprovoked, and I just responded, talking shit back, but also giving you advice. That's the way I saw it. Anyhow, after that incident took place, months went by, and this bothered me because I saw the solution the entire time, that Phil needed to do something different. All right. I am a person that recognizes entertainment. I really, really get it. You got to understand, Phil, you have haters, you have detractors, so do I, but I have more. I have more than Wings of Redemption, DSP, and Boogie combined. I have way more haters, but I'm still successful, and I still have new business opportunities, and I'm still making money. I was supposed to retire a year ago, and I'm still doing new stuff and being successful in this platform because I understand this business very, very well. And even though you have that hate, you know, they are viewers. They are your customers. The detractors are your customers.
Yeah, like Keemstar fucking nails it on the head. Like Adam and Craig have said it many a times. Monetize the hate. Like, I was gonna put monetize the hate as well, and that's just how it is.
Haters are your customers, and they're more loyal than the people that give you money, that donate on your stream. The people that hate you
echoing
are way
that you're
more
talking
loyal.
about. That's like, you can't pay for that shit.
No, like like I said before, like, I used to watch Phil. Oh my god, Craig, stop looking at me. I used to watch Phil when I was a child, right? When I was young, I was depressed, and I had no idea about the world. Like, I was so confused and everything, and life sucked. And then I got sick and tired of Phil. And then I moved on, and then I managed to like get better at my life and shit. And now I'm back, and I've become a detractor. But I'm showing this off. Like, I've fucking mentioned Phil plenty of times. Like, I've shared the stories of Phil, Like, I'm promoting this fucking man that I don't like. Like, I hate it. I hate that I'm promoting him, but it's funny. And like, I'm not gonna see a fucking penny for this, really. Like, in the end of the day, I'm not gonna see a penny. Like, nobody is donated because I don't... Like, I genuinely would rather people not donate. I'd rather people tune in, watch, and maybe, like, subscribe. Like, give me a follow, maybe subscribe. But that's it. Like, I don't want people to have to give me money. But Phil, like, he's like, I need people to give me money. Like, I need to keep afloat and stuff. And Phil doesn't realize that the detractors are helping him more than hindering him and anything.
I mean, look at how many people are here. 2,500 people are here. It's just, it's, you have a legitimate fan base. Those haters, those people that don't like you, are your fans. And I wanted to solve this issue for not just you, but Wings and Boogie. I looked at all of you guys, you're lolcows, right? You have more haters than like supporters, right? But really, they're all fans.
Phil is so fucking pissed. Because Phil doesn't want to agree with that.
They are all fans. They're all obsessed with you and watching your content nonstop. The solution...
I fucking hate how Craig just looks at the camera. Like, stop looking directly at the camera, Craig. My guy, it's distracting and disturbing.
Really is to get the three of you to do a podcast, all right? Those haters are going to watch. They're going to absolutely love that these three guys have come together to make content. Now, between the three of you, you guys don't have the business sense to like really figure this out and make this thing actually happen. But I do. All right. And you guys don't even understand how valuable you are as individuals, as entertainers, because you look at the numbers and you're looking at everything and like, oh, well, I've fallen off. And, you know, that's the mindset that you have. Right. But I have a different mindset for each and one of you, that you guys are amazing entertainers, just not in the way that you want to be. Right. You're lolcows, but there's so much value there. By putting the three of you together, and you know, each one of you would own 25% of this podcast. All right. We never got to have this conversation. So I do want to have it now, even though I know you're not going to do it. All right. I would also own 25%. I would do the business aspect of it. I've had many success selling podcasts to exclusive deals with Spotify and other companies, multi-million-dollar deals. All right. I wanted to put the three of you together for this show. I would do the business side of the things. And I knew that all three of you would be in a situation where you didn't really trust me, or you're like, I don't know if this is going to work, and you'd have a lot of doubts. So I was just going to take my own money and take $150,000, give you each, just to start off before we even filmed an episode, 50 grand up front to let you know that I was serious and I believe in this concept and this idea.
And Phil was like, there was no fit. Like, Phil has said multiple times that there was no 50 grand. Like, he never said that. And it's like, he literally just fucking said it. Like, I don't like Keemstar. I don't like him, but I appreciate him as a businessman. Like, he is smart. He's a very smart man. Like, Drama Alert, fucking genius idea. That propelled him into the stratosphere. Like, man is unbelievable. But, like, Phil just is so stupid. Like, I was mentioning it to my partner. I was like, you could probably get a deal with Keemstar, like, get him into a contract and be like, right, I would want like 5% or 10% or something. Like, 5% would be fine. And Keemstar would probably be okay with that. And you would have to be able to do that shit, but Phil has no business sense, even though he has a business degree. Like, I'm not a business type person. Like, I suck at business. Like, I wish I could. I really wish I could. Like, I could try and start, but I don't know how far I would get. Like, I need to like, work on shit. Like, especially with this whole Twitch streaming. Like, I need to work on it. It sucks. But Keem would... Keem would actually be a good guy to like do business with, as shitty as it is to admit.
Now, I call Boogie first. I instantly get on the phone with Boogie. All right. He loves the idea. He understands it. He gets it. He reaches out to Wings. Wings is down. And now it's time to talk to DSP. Boogie, the way I understand it, called you, contacted you, and told you what was going on, right?
He DM'd me on Twitter, and we had a brief conversation back and forth in DMs.
And he told you that I wanted to do a podcast with the three of you, right?
Yes, I had no idea that's what you were trying to contact me about because we never talked. But he said that there was this idea for a podcast, correct?
So you did know.
So Boogie told you, or did?
Oh my fucking god, Phil! Oh wait, shit, did I be it?
Boogie told me that he and Wayne
Hold
said
on.
that there was this idea for a podcast, correct?
So you
So-
did know.
So Boogie told you, or didn't tell you?
Boogie told me that he and Wings had spoken to Keem
Mhm.
and that Keem wanted to do a podcast with all three of us. No money or anything was discussed. He just said, you know, he wants to do a podcast with all three of us. I didn't know that's what Keem was trying to reach out to me. I said maybe that's what it was. I didn't know because I never spoke with him.
Phil,
Fucking Jesus, Phil. Like, this is why people don't trust Phil. Like, he fucking says one thing earlier on where it's like, I didn't know about it, and then he says this where it's like, oh, I knew about it. It's like, what? Fucking what was it?
hearing this, and hearing the business opportunity that was laid, I don't even know if it's still there or not, but what are your thoughts right now, given what Keem has said to you?
Thoughts? Like,
Yeah.
you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what are
just
you feeling?
as
How you
he's
feeling?
as he's laid this out, like lay out your feelings based on what Keemstar has laid out for you.
I have absolutely no problem doing anything with Boogie or Wings. In fact, you know, I had the conversation with Boogie back and forth a little bit more later in the year. Would he be interested in maybe doing a podcast with me or me behind his show or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. These guys, you know, I did a react about Wings last year about his documentary.
God fucking damn it.
Me doing a collab with them, just doing a fun podcast is not out of the question for the future.
But your issue is with Keemstar and his business principles.
Correct.
So understand. So even if there's an opportunity for you to remove yourself from quote unquote level one and potentially have an opportunity further down the line to potentially sell the podcast to something and put 50 grand in your pocket initially, that's a 100% no-go for you.
Oh man. See, I didn't know that was. You put me on the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we
Because
do. That's what we do. Man.
This is a discussion that cannot be just made by me. It has to be made by my wife. You know,
No, it doesn't.
Talk about it because this was the discussion we had.
No, it doesn't. This is you. This is your business. Your wife has no fucking part in your business, Phil. Like, none at all. God damn it.
You know, sorry, Keem. Can I criticize you fairly if I'm reasonable and don't, you know, not under the belt? Can I be honest about you?
Sure, you can say whatever you want about me,
Sure.
but I just want to represent how I feel about the situation. I'm not done, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Keem, you are someone who, when you look at your history on the internet, it's very interesting. And I'm actually, I'm impressed with what you've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched a documentary about you last year. You started off trolling people in Halo. I mean, holy shit. And you turned that into an empire of money on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's
Can't do that shit nowadays. Doesn't have fucking voice chat with the opponents. You can't shit talk your opponents anymore.
crazy. That's so admirable. And if anything, one of the things you absolutely need to be praised for is your determination. You were shut down time after time. False copyright strikes, real takedown requests, all kinds of shit. People wanted you off the net. You're still there. You never gave up. Damn, that's a success story. That's
Phil, it sounds familiar, dude.
Yeah.
I guess.
Literally sounds like you.
I don't
It's
really
true.
think about it like that.
We just heard your story, and it is. Craig's absolutely right.
Yeah, he is.
Now, at the end of the day, all right, when you look at what Keem has done and what I have done, I'll probably be forgotten. I'll just be a fart in the wind, right?
No, you
I got
won't.
100,000 videos on the internet. No one's gonna remember Darkseid Phil besides the guy who jerked off on stream.
People are always gonna remember Darkseid Phil. Like, I'm bad. Like, as much as I wouldn't want to say it, Phil was influential to hundreds of people, thousands of people, because, like, Phil influenced me. Like, Phil managed to influence my young brain into doing YouTube videos and to, like, want to do something online. And I haven't changed that at all. And it's kind of wild that Phil will be remembered, but maybe not for all of the right reasons. But he is such a touchstone in history that it's hard to avoid. Like, it genuinely is really hard to avoid, like, DSP in a lot of senses.
And, you know, probably this WWE Champions thing will go away eventually, just like everything else. Who cares? But Keem, you know, has a big body of work. He's known. But when you look at how Keem made his money, okay? Again, I'm going off documentaries and things I've seen. I mean, Keem, you have to openly admit that there were a lot of things that you've done that you probably have no issue with whatsoever. You always feel from your perspective, because there's always two perspectives on everything, right?
Holy shit, Phil! I gotta say, this is fucking rich coming from you right now. You're getting your information from the detractors that Keem has, and that's where you're basing this on. When this whole episode you have been talking about how much shit your detractors have made other people think about you.
Oh my fucking god. Adam, you're a fucking G. Oh my god.
Like, do you hear yourself right now?
Indeed, I do. That's the nature
Okay.
of the beast. That's how YouTube works, man. That's how all this works, right?
Fuck, man.
So, from what I've heard and seen about Keem, you know, I call them a misery broker. All right, Keem, on a day when you have a good day, it's because someone else is having a bad day. Someone else has drama going on. Someone else has horrible things happening in their life. It's your good day, man. It's time for you to blow that up, and then you interject like a shoe wedge. Get into that life. Get into that drama, right? You got to be a part of it. And now, get them on your show so that you can pull this out to be not just a one-time thing, but now it's going to be pulled on for weeks and weeks. If there's something,
Phil, do you know the internet at all? Do you know the internet at all?
Yes, I do.
Do you see who's successful on the internet? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I would probably be more successful if I talk shit on people, but like I don't, and you know, I do what I can because that's just where I'm at, you know. So it's like you can't be upset when people use the algorithms for their advantage, which Keem seems to have figured out.
You're right, and at one point I was a really stupid, jealous guy. Man,
You still are.
I feel like I'm putting out content that's not harmful to anyone. I'm just doing gameplay. I'm dicking around on the internet here with my viewers, and this guy gets over and he's doing this drama content. People are saying it's hurtful. You know, you're right. At the same time, everyone has what's called a moral compass, correct? And you know, I've been talking about this on my streams recently. I was raised a Roman Catholic. All right, I'm not religious anymore, by the way. So this is not like an excuse, but I grew up with certain morals, all right, and values. And to me, if the only way that I can get over on the internet and or just get over in life is by stepping on other people, I'm not going to step on those people.
Depends on the person. It depends on the people that you're stepping on. Like that's the moral justification for anything. It depends on who it is. Like if it's a piece of fucking shit, like horrible person, then by all means step right over them. Step on them, fucking twist your feet, like do a little fucking dance on them. If they're a horrible fucking piece of shit, do whatever you can, like monetize the fuck out of them. But if they're just like a decent human being, or like they're just having a bad day or something, then no. Like that's how I see it. Like I'm shitting on Phil because Phil technically lives comfortably. Like I kind of do, but Like, I'm in my own situation, but like, I would shit on Phil. Like, I have been shitting on Phil for fucking 6 hours. Like, a 6 fucking hour stream of me watching this, shitting on Phil and stuff. Like, obviously I'm gonna fucking do it. But I'm doing it for different reasons than Keemstar would be. Or anybody else.
I'd rather be the
I don't
guy
think
over
that's
here
what
on
I
the
don't think that's what
periphery.
Keem's doing when he's making videos. You know, I see, yeah, D-Day Cobra. Shout out to him. I saw him in chat earlier. You know, and tweeted us out. Thank you, buddy. He talks shit on anyone. Like he'll freaking, you know, he monetized the haters better than anyone I know.
Right.
And
Well,
I've talked to him personally off air, and he's a fucking great guy, and like has a good moral compass to me. I don't think talking shit about people on the internet somehow changes who you are, right?
No.
As your moral
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. Because of the internet. Nobody fucking cares. It's not real life.
compass. I mean, you said moral compass. It's like, come on, dude. Like,
can I ask Phil a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Phil, listen. All right, if me running Dromeler is like taking advantage of people's misery, right? Because the way I understand it, for how you're explaining it, is like a YouTuber will get canceled, and then I cover the story on my platform, or you had the fappening, right? And I covered the story on my platform that I'm making money off of other people's downfalls, right? That's the way you see it.
Yes.
Well, there's people on YouTube that run documentaries on important things that happen on the internet. They're also in the same situation, correct?
What do you mean by that?
They're
What kind of
making money.
documentaries?
They're making money on a newsworthy story on the
So you're,
internet.
like factual reporting of things that are happening, like a news network. Like, what do you mean?
Of course. And I inject my opinion on these stories as well. But there are YouTubers, right? They're commentators, and then there's commentators that do like documentary style stuff that cover drama on the internet. You're saying that every single one of them is accepting blood money because they're voicing their opinions on what's going on.
Well, simply voicing your opinion is one thing, Keem, but let's take a look at your history here. There's been documented cases where you've actually staged stuff and extrapolated drama in situations where it didn't really exist. There's evidence of this. People have admitted
Explain
to it.
that. Explain that.
Yeah. Tell me more.
There's
I'm
a
not aware of these.
The documentary I watched last year, but June the King made this one.
Ah, yes. I have also seen this documentary. I love June the King. He is such a good guy. I wish I could talk to him. Like, I know, fucking long shot, but June, if you ever hear this, please, I would love to talk to you. You sound fucking cool. It would be really cool. I want to pick your brain. I want to pick so many people's brains. It's not even funny.
A situation with a YouTuber, and I forget if he was a Minecraft YouTuber or another YouTuber, and originally he appeared supposedly as an upfront, honest guest on Keemstar's show covering this drama. I think it was allegations that he had been with underage girls or something like that. Okay. Come to find out, later on, the whole, or at least part of it, was orchestrated between the two behind the scenes. Like, I guess he wanted to get back at someone, his ex or his current girlfriend, and Keem participated in that setup situation.
I
like that you could see Keem like trying to remember. He's like, what the fuck is he talking about? He's like, wait a minute, let me see. But you can see the cogs turning.
have no idea what you're talking about. That doesn't even sound legit whatsoever. I have no idea what you're
You have
talking
the right
about.
to deny it. That's fine.
But-
You know what? It's out there. Just so you know, that
Well,
shit's out there, man.
But
Once
I just
again,
want to
Phil.
say, like, you participated in supporting a YouTuber, all right, that covered a story on my misery, right? If I supposedly did something wrong, you watched and supported another YouTuber doing exactly what Dromler does.
It's a good point.
And on top of that, just to kind of reiterate this, like, once again, Phil, you're telling Keemstar that he has the right to deny that because he's saying it didn't happen, even though you're saying there's a mountain of proof in this documentary, right? The same thing is being said to you right now about WWE Legends and everything like that, and you have the right to deny it too, even though there's a mountain of evidence through documentaries online.
Correct.
I absolutely love the hypocrisy. It is insane.
But
How fucking-
to respond to your point, sorry, there's a lot of
Oh, fucking hell.
The documentary
50
is
minutes!
not just negative stuff about you. Okay, you understand? The documentary is actually covering your entire history. I learned a lot of things about you that I find very admirable and very positive by watching that. It really did cover factually your rise and all the stuff that's happened and some of the
How do
big
you know that,
controversies
though,
you've been
factually?
involved in.
How do you know it's factual? I'm just curious. It's on the internet, so it must be true.
I know. Phil, real quick. I mean, I see documentaries on DSP, but you on the show said half of the stuff's not even true. So
Right.
I'm confused. Is the internet 100% trustworthy or not? Because
No.
when it's about me, it's all facts. When
Right.
it's about you, it's all lies.
That's just the DSP hypocrisy right there. If it's about me, it's not true. If it's about other people, it's 100% true, completely factual. You'll never find anything wrong with it. That's how Phil works. That's how Phil's brain works, and it's bad. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't do it like that.
I'm confused.
It's not all facts and it's not all lies. It's always somewhere in between, right? We all know that. We're not stupid. We're not born yesterday. When you watch that documentary, you gotta kind of suspend your disbelief. Say, hey, okay, believe it or don't, right? Make your own.
Oh shit! He's actually
So you
lighting
chose to
up.
believe this one when it came to Keem.
He's like, Jason was like, "Fuck this! I need a fucking cigarette." I was gonna say the British word, but I'm not allowed to say that one. I'm not allowed to say that word, so I had to say cigarette, which is so unlike me.
In a couple particular cases, I'm not saying that one documentary is the only thing I've ever heard about Keem. There's been lots of people who've.
That's what you're referencing a lot so far, so that's what I'm going on.
Can we come to the conclusion that me and you both have a bad reputation? We're controversial figures, but one of us is wildly more successful?
I wouldn't even say I'm successful at all. So
Okay.
yeah.
Nice voice crack, Phil. Nice voice crack. Oh, the amount of times I've heard voice cracks during the Final Fantasy 16 playthrough is unbelievable.
Sure.
Keemstar, continue with what you were saying. Okay, I think we've established this. Keemstar, continue with what you were talking about leading up to this. You reached out to Boogie Wings and DSP, 50 grand on the table to start the podcast. Continue.
So knowing how to help all three of them, all right, and then also creating a business opportunity for myself, right? You know, it is all these things combined. And not only just helping DSP, Wings, and Boogie and myself, because this is a brilliant idea, but it's also helping every single person that's in this chat right now. It's also helping every single one of your haters, every single one of your guys' actual supporters. Everybody wants this content. This is a win. This is a golden opportunity. So knowing this and wanting to reach out to help you, I found you to be so incredibly difficult to work with. Boogie already contacted you and told you that this was about a podcast. I publicly tweeted, reach out to me, $50,000, and you ignored me. Then we finally start talking in DMs, and your response is, well, email me because I want to set up a call. We're already talking in DMs on Twitter. Why can't we just jump on a call and talk right away? We're already communicating. You tell me to go email you. That is so weird from my perspective. If I reach out to the biggest YouTuber on the platform, Mr. Beast, and I text him, hey, we got to get on the phone. I got to talk to you about something. I'm going to talk to him within 12 hours. And this is a wildly more busy guy than you, Phil.
Oh my God.
And that's the biggest YouTuber on the platform. This is how content creators communicate with each other. We don't, email each other. Like, we have managers to do that stuff. We have lawyers to do that stuff. I have a team of people that will get in an email. I don't get in an email ever. I'm never in a Gmail ever. You know, this is, what are you talking about?
Email.
Like, I would love to be able to do, like, the shit that these guys are doing. Like, I would love to have people want to hear want to hear my part of things, like my opinions on stuff and shit. Like, I would love that. I would fucking revel in that shit, because that sounds fantastic to me. But it won't happen. Like, my opinion is fucking worth less than the dirt on my shoes. Because nobody gives a fuck. Like, it's unreal, but it's true. Like, I have fucking nobody watching this right now. And I have been live for 6.5 hours. I had a few people in earlier, but that was it. Like, that was at the start. I got a new follower, but that was 4 hours ago. And, like, it's so hard. It's so hard.
It's so disrespectful to me when I'm just communicating you in Twitter DMs. We're talking back and forth, and you're telling me I have to email you in order to get on a call. I was so confused by that. But I play along, all right? I think one of my people may have emailed you or something. I got a phone number. We set up a scheduled time when we're going to call, and we're going to talk about this. And I call you during the scheduled time, and you don't answer the phone. And then I get a message back saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I was streaming. I told you I work at this time."
I should
Even
have
if
felt
that is
cowards.
And you were streaming. That stream is not more important than my phone call and my opportunity. It's not.
Phil, what do you think about that? Do you think that's accurate? You have an opportunity to put 5 figures in your pocket, and you gonna give us your mindset there, because
It's all semantics, because who cares how you're talking or whatever. First of all, Craig knows how to contact me. He contacted me to be on this show. It was pretty straightforward. Wouldn't you say, Craig? It was pretty easy to reach out to me. It wasn't hard to reach me, was it?
No, I emailed you. Yeah, it was easy.
And when we were able to talk back and forth pretty reasonably with no issue, correct? I don't think we ever had an issue, right?
No, I think what we're hearing
Well,
here is
hold on. You think Craig is a big YouTuber though? Come on, look at this guy.
Oh, no, I'm not even saying
Hey,
it has nothing
once
to do with
upon a
size.
time, buddy. Once upon a time.
This has nothing to do with size. This has to do with just being reasonable. If someone has a business contact line, said, "This is the best way to contact me, please do it." But instead you go to your giant audience on Twitter and you just scream, "I want DSP to contact me immediately, $50,000 on the line." It's hostile, it's disrespectful, it's unprofessional.
So you got triggered and were on the defensive immediately when you saw that from
Exactly.
Keem. You
If
did
he-
not see that he was actually reaching out to help. You know,
No,
even
Not
though
at all. I didn't even
it's-
know. People had to
Hold-
tell me
hold
in my
on, hold on.
chat this was happening.
So according to like what I've just heard, you were talking shit about him retiring, and he jokingly responded and kind of slapped you a lighthearted slap with a glove, but said, "You know what? I'm gonna hook you up anyway." That's the vibe I'm getting. And you were stuck on that. What year was this, by the way? Just because I
Last
kind of
year.
have a. So this was recent.
Last
Yeah,
year.
roughly a year ago.
Wow. Okay. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a little further back. I mean, it feels like, Phil, you're in this time of like you're trying to find that way past this spot that you're in, and I don't mean to like call anything out, but it does feel like that's being stuck on level 1, right? And it feels like, I mean, shout out to Keem for like actually reaching out after you were talking shit. Like that's not something that happens. And
No, like, if Keemstar was any other person, he'd be like, "Fuck you then." He's like, "No, fuck yourself. I'm not gonna give you this opportunity."
was
Right.
truly trying to help you out. Like that's kind of surprising.
Be-
I wouldn't,
well,
if
it-
someone was talking shit about me and I was as successful as Keem, I'd been like, fuck this person. I wouldn't even acknowledge them. Especially as you say, it was just some small time. I don't remember what wording you chose, that you weren't even successful in your own mind.
But him talking shit to me isn't a personal thing, right? It's an opportunity for me to make a Twitter video and make some entertainment for my audience. Like when I go on the internet,
That's how you internet right there.
when I
that's
go
how
on the
you
internet,
internet.
I'm not thinking about, will people like me? Will people hate me? I'm thinking, let me make a piece of content that people will enjoy watching, whether they like me or hate me or whatever.
Yeah.
Let me make some piece of content that people are interested in. That's all I ever think about when I come to the internet. is
shit.
Serving viewers. All right.
Phil,
there's-
hold on, real quick. Phil, are you okay with this? You know, I
With
don't
what?
want. Yeah, just with this conversation. You know, I mean, you came on to do an interview with me and Craig. You know,
Yo.
it was a tough interview. You know, we dove deep into throughout. You know what was going on, and you weren't prepared for. I didn't know that Keemstar would be on the show today. I didn't know either.
Neither did I. Yeah.
This is all just kind of happened naturally.
This is the
And I-
internet.
as the guest on my show, I just wanted to ask you if you're cool. Like I would love for this to continue. I just want to make sure you're cool with it.
I'm okay with this, but I mean, obviously,
cool.
we want to get back to the other topics too, right? I mean, we kind of put everything on pause
Yeah.
at the game, and
We
I
will,
mean-
sure, but I think something good is happening here, right? We're working
Agreed.
through things. We're understanding what each perspective is. I understand your perspective, Phil. I understand Keemstar's perspective. So I got a question for you, Keem. Is this?
Oh
You
my
don't mind
God.
if I call you Keem, do you?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
Everyone
cool.
calls me Keem.
All right.
Oh shit.
All right. Is the offer still there for this to happen?
I mean,
If Phil is open to it.
I would say potentially, but not really, right? You know, I took Wings of Redemption and Boogie 2988, who were willing to work with me and understood this business opportunity. And I'm setting up a boxing match between the two of them, and I'm gonna break the internet with this. All right. This is a awesome opportunity for Wings, an awesome opportunity for Boogie.
God damn.
This is going to be broadcasted on May 13th, and I haven't even announced this anywhere yet. This is an exclusive. It's going to be free to watch.
Oh shit.
Wow.
It's going to be free to watch. And
can I ask a question?
yeah,
Of course.
Since I am the guest, right?
Of course.
I can
Yeah,
just-
please ask. Yeah.
Keem, you know, again, I understand your reasoning here. I'm just making content people want to see, right? Is there any line that you won't cross when it comes to content that you think people want to see that you can make profit on? Do you have any kind of restraint? Do you ever feel that morally something is too far? Because I personally and many others hear this about this boxing match coming up. Okay, now let me give you my perspective.
Oh, the boxing match for shit.
Redemption, Boogie, two desperate guys. We all know they're down on their luck. They could definitely use some money, right? We all know this. They
Yes.
publicly project that to the internet. They're both
So do you, Phil. You project it way more than they do. But then again, I don't watch Wings or Biggie, so.
technically, from what we can see and understand, they're kind of unhealthy. Maybe not. Who knows? But you know
Agree.
what they project, correct? Do you not feel that having two people like this, overweight, possibly unhealthy, doing a boxing match against each other so that everyone on the internet can laugh at them could possibly, just possibly, be either putting them in harm's way or maybe be considered morally reprehensible because of the repercussions that could happen during this match?
Do you not think they're
Right.
adults that they can make their own decisions, though, Phil?
That's
I'm
fine.
just curious.
Everyone can make their own decisions. That's
I'm
fine.
sorry, Keem. Please answer them.
let me respond. All right. Every single influencer boxer, whether they're healthy or not, is putting themselves in harm's way for entertainment.
Yes, because there was the creator, I think it was Creator Clash, or like the chess one, I can't remember which one it was, but I Did a Thing's friend was meant to be a part of that, but I Did a Thing concussed him. Like, gave him a real serious concussion when training, and he couldn't do it. Like, fuck that. Like, that is terrifying. Like, personally, I don't think I could ever do that. Like, I used to do jiu-jitsu, but I don't think I could ever fucking do boxing. Like, when I was really young, like, this is a story time with Jamie here. But when I was really young and I was doing jiu-jitsu, I got bullied there, and it sucked. Like, I fucking hated it. But there was one time where we had to like dive over these crisp packet boxes. So like it was just a blockade that you had to cross, and it was like 4 or 5 high. I don't know. I can't remember. I was real young, but I managed to do it. But I landed on my head and I bit my tongue. Luckily, it wasn't really bad, but fuck me, did that hurt. And like, I bit my tongue so many times. I hate it. It sucks. It is the worst fucking feeling. Like, I could never imagine what it's like to be concussed. Like, fuck that. Like, in every way possible. Fuck that.
They're all warriors, and they all deserve respect. Wings of Redemption and Boogie haven't gotten any respect. In fact, it's disrespect. Very similar to you. All right. And by doing this, they will get respect. Whether people laugh or not, they are going to get respect for jumping in that ring.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that they're unhealthy. Of course they're unhealthy. But I can tell you right now, behind the scenes, and nobody knows this, both of them have actively already lost weight training for this fight. This is a
Nice.
positive thing in both of their lives. And I don't think either one of them have the ability to seriously hurt the other. Do you? Do you think they're in
No.
real danger by fighting each other? I think these are equal opponents.
This is not a serious.
I'm pretty sure Boogie, like it was either Boogie or like I think it was Boogie, absolutely fucking went to town on Wings. It might be the other way around, but I remember seeing clips from it, and it was an entirely one-sided fight.
It's a boxing match, Key. They're not boxers. They don't know anything about boxing. These are two overweight guys that are going to go at it, swinging. You know.
Are you going to
anything can
watch?
happen. No.
Yes, you are.
No,
yes,
I'm
you
not.
are.
I don't watch
believe
that
you.
crap. I don't watch
Wait,
your crap.
Phil,
Are you out of your
Phil,
mind?
you know,
I don't
you know
believe
who is gonna watch it, Phil?
Everyone else.
Everyone. Great. answer.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I would have said.
I just
Phil-
don't believe you. It really comes down to what I just
not
said a
gonna
little
watch
while
it, dude.
ago. When I look at like making content for the internet and doing stuff like this, my question is, will this serve viewers? And I know it will. I know so many people are going to tune in. I know so many people want to see this. And I don't believe you when you say you're not going to watch this. I think you are going to watch this fight.
You're so
Phil-
mistaken. You have no idea about me then, dude.
Well, let's ask this, Phil. Just and this is just my morbid curiosity. If there was an opportunity for you, Phil, to do something physical, box, whatever, I don't know, whatever it may be, that was a kind of a YouTuber versus YouTuber opportunity. Would you be open to that? Open
No.
to anything like that?
Wouldn't do it.
No.
That's not what I'm about. I'm on the internet to share my passion for games, to have a cool social interaction with this, my viewers, my fans, whatever you want to call them. I'm not here to make a mockery of myself or, do a
Oh.
publicity stunt. I don't do that kind of stuff. People will say I do, whatever. It's your perspective. From my perspective, I just want to be in my lane with my viewers, doing a good, fun stuff. I have no aspirations of grandeur or anything like that. I don't.
You just have zero aspirations, Phil. Like, Phil doesn't want to be bigger than he is. Like, Phil's just content. I understand. I get it. Like, I would be content as shit. Like, I would be content with like 200 people watching. Like, that's fine for me. Like, max 200 people. Like, if I could get 50 people, like 70 people, whatever, watching me, that would be fantastic. But Phil is just like, I have no aspirations at all. And it's unreal.
I want to blow up because I did a stupid internet boxing match with someone. It's so stupid to me. Immature.
That's
almost.
fine, Phil. If I could finish why I'm frustrated and explaining myself.
Continue.
Because, like, look, this all started with me retiring and you having, a bad opinion on me, and then us having that metaphor of, you being on level 1. Like, I really did retire like a year ago. I pretty much did retire. Now I'm doing DLC, but I'm not paying for the DLC. The DLC is paying me, and I'm doing more and more and more and more stuff in this space because I just love it so much. And it comes from a place of you absolutely loving what you do and loving these video games. You know who else likes video games? Wings and Boogie. You don't think the three of you on a podcast would be a good thing? You guys talking about games, giving your opinions, talking about current events and
Yeah.
whatnot. You don't think that's
Like, that alone would be fucking fantastic. But no.
it's a positive thing?
Keem, I just said right here on the show, I would love to do a show with those
Okay.
guys. I'm friendly with them. Behind
So-
the scenes, I have conversations.
So when I couldn't get a hold of you and I called you multiple times, it wasn't once and you ignored, it was multiple times. I kept calling, I kept DMing you, and you said, "Oh, I'm streaming now," and da-da-da. Couple weeks went by.
By the way,
And-
that's false what he's saying, but I'll let him.
Fucking hell, Phil.
No. We want to hear your perspective. That's what we're doing here.
Did he not call you multiple times?
He called me at least once, maybe twice, but I think it was
That's multiple times.
The amount of times that you've said during this interview that you don't really remember is shocking.
because I don't document this stuff. Why do I care?
But how can you say with such certainty that it wasn't you, or that he didn't call, or that all these things? If constantly, I'm just calling it out. Or, I'm not trying to come at you, but that I've just noticed that a lot. So now
That's
you
fine.
say actually he called maybe twice. Could it have been 3 times? Could it have been
Again,
4 times?
It
that
definitely
you
wasn't
didn't even
3 or
notice.
4. It was 1 or 2. It
How do I
definitely wasn't
know?
3 or 4.
Who is it's a couple? Like, what the fuck, Phil? Like, do you not know your like units of like numbers? Like, a fucking baker's dozen is 12. Or, no, 13. And, like, half a dozen is 6. Because the baker gets an extra one for himself.
I'm just, you know,
Well,
I
regardless,
specifically remember when he called me during a stream, and I'm like,
He's like, fuck this.
I opened my phone. I'm like, okay, this must be him because I don't have his phone number. I'm assuming this must be him because of the, you get locations tied to phone numbers or whatever. And I'm like, why is he calling me when I gave him these specific times to call me? He's calling me when I said I was busy.
but
Why
even
would you
then,
do that?
Phil, you may be busy, but there's a call worth potentially 50 grand plus more on the backside of this that could take 10 minutes. I mean,
Change your life.
Yeah.
once again, your true fans will understand. Look, I had to get on a phone call. This is a really important business call. I appreciate you guys. And you know what? They're going to stay there with you. They're going to stay there watching because they want to know what's happening. They want to know more about this. Like the idea of not taking a call just because you're streaming, like your fans will understand that, man.
Yeah, like,
No,
a lot of people, like, I watched Vinny Vinesauce, I watched Joel and stuff, like, they get calls on stream and then they're like, oh, I've got a call, like, or they'll just, like, mute, and then not say anything, and they'll be like, oh, I got a call, shit, whatever. But, like, Phil makes a massive fucking deal out of nothing. Like, he had a dude come up about the internet and was like, oh, I had to, like, fucking made this huge story and all he needed to say was I had somebody come up about the internet. Like that was all he had to fucking say, and he like made it this whole half an hour fucking spiel. And it's like, Phil, what the fuck?
and again, I didn't even know that was him. I didn't have his number. I'm checking after the fact during a break or whatever. But the fact that this guy can't call me when I'm giving him the times to call was baffling to me. So first, he won't. The true interaction here, I had to DM him. He
For
wouldn't contact
fuck's
me. I
sake,
had to
bro.
DM him. He would not talk further in the DM about what this was until I demanded it. I'm like, dude, just tell me what you're talking about to see if I'm interested. I don't want to get on a call with you unless you just say, what if he had said something I'm totally not interested in at all? I could say, no, we're not even bothering with it. He wouldn't. I had to like pull strings to get him to even say, okay, I want you to be like a host on a show. And then he wouldn't even talk any further. He demanded a phone call. I give him my number. I give him the specific times to call. He calls the wrong times.
well,
Right?
I mean,
Guys, guys,
according to
I
what I
just-
hear from hold on, I just want to say this real quick. According to what I'm hearing from Keem, he was going to put up $150,000 to do a show with 3 guys. Like that's a risk. That's him investing a lot of his income to try to help these guys, for including yourself. And I think a phone call, wanting to do it over a phone call, is like just that's nothing in comparison to what he's trying to do. All right, I just needed to say that, Keem.
And Phil, listen.
Do you
now
want to
that
know
we're-
why I don't like the phone call idea? Why I wanted it in writing? Would you like to know?
In just a
Why?
second, Keepstar, go
Okay.
ahead.
Phil, now that we're talking about this and we're communicating for the first time back and forth, all right, I can tell just by how you're reacting and what you're saying back to me that you actually understand that this was a great opportunity. And that's why we needed to be on the phone, is so we could actually communicate. We could hear each other's voice. We could talk this thing out. You can ask me questions. The text conversation, the emails back and forth, all right? That's not like really how business gets done. That's how contracts get done. That's how managers communicate back and forth and do deals. But like when we're at the very beginning of an idea and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with this business, it has to be like real communication back and forth in a phone call, like it is right now.
Mhm.
So that's
Okay.
why that's why it was so important for me to get on the phone with you.
Okay.
Do you agree
Does that
or
make sense?
disagree? Does it make sense to you, Phil?
What I was going to say was
Sure.
the reason I wanted it in writing was very simple. All right. Again, you have to understand, Keen, you have a lot of stuff that's said about you on the internet. You know that. We've agreed to that.
But
Right?
so do you.
Yeah, I'm so
Correct.
sick of hearing
But
that from
so
you.
do
But
Phil.
what I-
It's so
but
frustrating
If I'm
when
going
you
to
say
deal
that.
with this guy, if I'm going to
I'm
deal
with
with
him.
this guy, if I'm going to deal with this guy, I want our conversation in writing. Because what's the
Why?
getting on the phone with Keen, having a conversation, and the next thing I know, he completely lies about what we just talked about to get drama on his content.
Phil, that's
And-
like me going to Craig. Like, hell no. I hear all this shit about Phil. I don't want him to come up here and start fucking wanking it on the show live. You know what I mean? That's like me believing what is on the internet when I think this was actually it was a tough, but it was a good show, and it was a chance for you to come clean and like really try to tackle some of the shit that's out there.
like, like the fact that Phil is saying this is like, what the fuck? Like Phil, they're taking such a fucking risk, and like, oh, Phil just fucking irritates me.
But it's like you're using the same kind of shit that people have been using against you, but you're using it against Keemstar. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't.
Like, what would be the purpose of Keemstar lying about this fucking podcast or whatever, or like lying about Phil? Like, he wouldn't gain anything from it, really. And I think Phil knows that. I think Phil knows deep down that Keemstar wouldn't really get anything out of lying about Phil. He doesn't, like, there's no point in doing that.
Listen, I don't
Yeah.
trust
You-
the
you
guy.
do
I just
hear- you
don't.
do
I
see
don't
it, right?
trust him. I do
But-
not
but-
trust Kane.
But once
I
You
again,
don't
Sorry.
know me. We never
Right.
even talked.
How do you not trust the man when you're getting your information from the internet? The internet is not a real place.
That's
I
true.
can tell you this. I do business with the biggest content creators on this entire planet. All right. I don't just run a show called Drumler. I develop video games. I represent YouTubers. I get them brand deals. One of my companies represents the biggest streamer on the planet. I have a long business history with FaZe, Mr. Beast. Like, where, like, you don't know anything about me. You don't, right? But if we had a conversation and you got to learn about me and what I've done and the business opportunities that I've created for this industry for the last 15 years, your opinion of me would be wildly different than you watching a drama documentary about me, something that you're against. Like, this is blood money,
It was
but
not a
that's where
drama
you got your
documentary.
information from.
I've said I don't like Keemstar, but I believe that he's a decent guy. Like, I believe that he can be good. Like, I would love to talk to Keemstar. I know it's never gonna happen, but like if I could get an opportunity from Keemstar, I'd fucking leap at it. Like, to be fair, if I got a fucking opportunity from anybody, I'd leap at it, because like I've said no to too many opportunities in my life, and like Phil has no right. He shouldn't have fucking been like, no, I don't want to do this because it's you. Like, Phil turned down 50 grand. Like, 50 grand alone would set me for life, and I would be happy. I'd be like, 50 grand, fuck yeah, that's me done. Like, that's it. Like, I would just live off the interest. Like, that. And Phil cannot fucking think like that. Because, like, I want for nothing. But Phil's like, I must spend and spend and spend, and it's mind blowing.
It talked a lot positively about you. Why do you think I watched a drama video about you? That's not what I watched. at
So
all.
it talked positively about me, but by watching it, you had a negative view. That doesn't. It's
No,
not,
I told you, I respect you immensely, but I don't know it's not just that. There's other things too. Other people that have said things about you, and their dealings with you. I have to kind of be protective of myself and my business and my family.
Was there
I
ever
a
a
risk of being
story?
involved with you? I do. I feel there's a risk that I could be, hung out to dry somehow.
I know that there's multiple things that I've done wrong in my career, like a 1,000%. I have said outlandish things in the attempt of making entertainment and entertaining people. In 2015, one of the biggest things, my team got a story wrong, and I went on air with the story wrong and falsely accused someone of being a pedo. It was wrong identity. It wasn't even the same guy. All right. If you look at that story and actually look into it, the person that exposed Keemstar for that and brought that to the internet was Keemstar. I exposed myself for getting it wrong. I right away tried to make, it right with that guy, offer him 20 grand. This is like back in 2015. If you actually look into any of this stuff about me, you're going to see Keemstar saying wild effed up stuff, and he's definitely wrong. But you're going to see Keemstar making mistakes and trying to make amends for it if you actually take the time to look into it. Now, you're on this show asking these audience, this detractors, these gentlemen running this podcast to treat your story and what's said about you fair. I should have gotten the same respect from you, or at least a respect to get a phone call, just so we can better know each other.
Phil,
But
do
that
you?
But that
Go ahead,
didn't
Phil.
happen. And if I could finish, because I'm almost
Sure.
done
Yes, sir.
with representing, my point in all this. I called him multiple times. I couldn't get a hold of him. It
How
rubbed
long
me
have
the
we got?
wrong way right
Fuck's
from the
sake.
beginning when he was trying to send me to an email, which made no sense to me. And I think 2 weeks roughly went by, and I went on YouTube, and because I was looking up DSP stuff, doing research for the podcast, the algorithm sent his live stream in my feed, so I tune into it. And I'm telling you, the minute I tuned in, I saw Phil begging for money to pay rent and utilities, and I just lost it in his chat. I'm like, I cannot believe that you're doing this right now. 2 weeks ago, I was trying to get a hold of you, offering you the greatest opportunity you've ever been offered in your entire career. Phil, if this podcast was a success, all right, everyone in the chat and you are looking at $50,000. It wouldn't be $50,000.
It would be so much more.
Podcast would make millions. It would be a wild success. It would be a brand. This is something that would be clipped on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. People would talk about this, just like you're being clipped on your little live stream now, except for we would have an opportunity to monetize it.
Phil, do you understand kind of the obviously? I think what Keem is saying, he has this business experience, right? He's offering you an opportunity, you turn the other way, but there's a lot of things that you're saying today. You're talking about Keem making mistakes, saying things, doing business the wrong way. That can also be said about yourself. And the things that you're saying are very. It's like holding a mirror up to yourself, because I feel like there's actually a lot of similarities between Keemstar making mistakes. You've made mistakes, things that we touched on during this podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do understand the similarities between what your argument is for not wanting to work with him and the reason why you have so many detractors.
Sure. What I would say is the difference between me and Keem, outside of wild amount of popularity difference, is that if you take a look at the body of work that I've done in the 15 years I've done it, all right, you would say, has Phil ever really outright, with anything he's done, actually concretely hurt someone to the point where, wow, what a heinous person? People will say that about Keem. They will say that about Keem, okay? And at the end of the day, when I have to make business decisions about who I'm going to associate with and who I'm not going to,
Oh my God.
that's a factor. And it's a moral factor for me. It has nothing to do with Keem's business sense. Keem, you are a great businessman. Everyone knows that. I think you would actually run the podcast very, very well. I do. I would
Then
love to
fucking do it.
for DMA. I have a problem with you morally, dude, with the content you put out. I do. And
I'm
I
gonna-
think
let
you
him
should
respond.
respect
Let him
it.
respond to that.
Listen, you just said that you've never hurt anyone, right? And you talking trash doesn't hurt me. That's just an opportunity, right? But when you treated me the way you did behind the scenes, this sounds like bullshit coming from me, but you hurt me. I was offended. I was hurt. Like, why?
That I completely understand, right? I completely understand Keem, right? And I agree, because look at Phil's fucking smug face. Look at that. Look at that fucking face. Look at this. Look at this. Fucking look at this man. Oh shit. Look at this. Look at this fucking face. Like, he is not just fucking sorry at all. He is not sorry. He is not sorry in the slightest. Anyway,
Why are you treating me like this? Why can't you treat me like a man, and why can't we have a conversation? If
yeah, okay, so back to the point. Phil talks about it being like professional business shit. And then Keemstar comes along with like a business opportunity and shit and is expecting a proper response, like an adult response. But Phil acts like a fucking child and doesn't reciprocate it. And it's like, obviously Keem's gonna fucking be hurt. Like, it makes sense. Like, I'd be hurt. Personally, and that's me. Like, I can empathize with Keem on that one.
You came to the conclusion that no, I don't want to do this. This isn't right for me. That's fine. But you really showed me no respect at all. It was so disrespectful how you were treating me, making me email. I have to call at a certain time. I'm calling and you're not answering the phone. And then when people were asking, your fans asking online, why didn't you do this podcast with Keem? During this whole time, I forgot to mention this, he was still talking bad about me publicly.
Keem, you just said it. Like, just what you just described is probably the main reason I have a problem with you. You are someone who has no self-awareness, and you think that you're the most important thing. You...
Oh, I'm gonna scream. Phil has no self-awareness. Phil thinks he is the most important thing. Like, Phil is projecting so much. It's unfucking real. Oh my god, Phil.
tweeted on your Twitter that I should contact you about a business opportunity. No one does that. They contact the person about the business opportunity.
We all do it. We all do it.
Yeah,
It's the internet, Phil.
Phil, it's
Like,
the internet, man.
like
Yeah.
you said you've been doing this for 15 years, but like, do you not understand the way algorithms work, the way anger is addictive, and how people are hooked on crazy shit?
Yep.
Like,
I want no part of that drama.
Well, damn shit, Phil, you're already a part of it, and you have been for fucking years. You're a lol cow. People don't like you. I don't like you, but I'm watching this because I want to fucking watch this. Like, you... Phil is so fucking unreal.
I don't
Phil,
want to be
Phil,
on a
Phil,
podcast that is going to be about that. I don't want to be involved with someone
that's not what he was.
he's-
I don't even
this
know
is
what the
egomaniacal
podcast was
what
going to
he's
be about.
saying. He's being egomaniacal. I have to just listen
Phil,
to what he
I'm
just said.
not.
Keem,
Phil.
you just said my whole life should have stopped because you wanted to contact me. Really?
I did
my
not say
whole
that.
Life. You
No,
just
he
said
didn't say that.
answer
I
the
did
call
not
at
say
any time.
Fuck's sake.
The times to call me.
Can
Answer
I
the
give
call
you
at
some
any time at
context?
all.
Can I give you some context? From the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, every single day, I talk to at least 20 different content creators. And this is true. This is not an exaggeration. You know, I run an influencer boxing, Happy Punch. We represent fighters that do boxing. I have all my staff. I have YouTubers and content creators that we represent business-wise with brand deals and stuff like that. And then I run Drama Alert, right? So I have to get on the phone with different content creators to validate stories or get people's takes so I can, inject that into the story to make sure that like what I'm reporting and what I'm talking about is accurate and have a full perspective, right? How all this business operates, right, between content creator and content creator is like Twitter DMs. It's like a tweet, DM me. Yo, let's hop on a phone call. When we're talking about contracts and stuff, then you have lawyers, you have managers, they're in emails, emailing each other back and forth. But the content creator,
Phil is not fucking listening, like, at all. He's just like, I don't give a shit about what you have to say. I fucking hate you. That's all that matters.
which we are both content creators. We are on the same level. I'm not higher than you. You're not higher than me. We have a mutual respect as content creators. We should be able to be in Twitter DMs and then get on a phone call. And you didn't treat me like that. You treated me like dirt. This is not about me thinking I'm God. This is about how you treated me in those Twitter DMs.
Keem, I gave you the times to call. You called at different times, and you never had another interaction ever again. How was I disrespectful to you?
So when they ask me, is this opportunity, still available? When I say maybe, because like, I don't know how I could work with you. You are very, very difficult to work with, to even communicate with.
Because I didn't.
That is very true. Phil is fucking impossible.
didn't drop everything to talk to you, I'm difficult to communicate with, even though I
But
have
what are you dropping?
publicly listed ways to contact
What-
me.
Please explain to me what you're dropping. Like, what is so important that's happening that you can't get on a phone call with me?
My work, my job. I'm here 6 days a week, full-time streaming to make a
But
living.
this job that I'm about to offer you would pay wildly more and solve all these problems that you have going on.
First of all, you don't know what it's going to solve. That's a huge assumption. Second of all, you don't know what it was because you never told me. You didn't call.
Like, the fucking Lolco cast would be fucking so successful. Phil has zero idea what he's fucking talking about.
All at the time
didn't
you were
go in a
supposed
loop.
to.
Didn't
We're
Boogie
going
give
in a
you?
loop.
We
give
are going
you-
in a loop. You're
Yeah.
right.
It's happened a lot on this episode so far.
Right. So look, I think let's leave it here, right?
Oh shit, okay.
You know, we brought a bridge together, right? I don't know if something's going to come from this with Keem and Phil, and there's obviously still friction there, and that's fine. But I'm glad you guys had an opportunity to talk, and I think more than anything, Phil, you know, you're learning more about, you know, business in 2022, 2023, and how interactions, you know, and the importance of being quick and nimble and things like that along here, because that's in reality that's how business works now. So.
Let me put it this
Before-
way: if it weren't Keem, because again, I already had a negative association in my head of who Keem is. I had really very little interest in doing any work with him. If it was someone else, maybe I would have. But you know, that's the association I had. I had a moral issue working with the guy, so it wasn't a big deal to me that he was reaching out to me.
Before I leave, because I'm pretty much done, I've expressed everything that I want.
I appreciate it, Keem.
Can I give you some criticism?
Me,
Bill, is that okay?
Yeah, because I came in saying that I'd be respectful and I wouldn't dunk on you or any of that stuff, but I do have some criticism that I desperately want to express to you.
Oh boy.
as long as it's respectful and it's not, you
Okay.
know.
I'm going to do this in the most respectful way, and then I'll go. And of course, you can respond. But I don't condone people harassing you, people doxing you, people going into your private, you know, life and doing all this horrible stuff that they've done. But I believe the reason why this has happened is because people don't trust you.
Yeah.
You don't come across as trustworthy. So when you're on stream and you're asking to pay utilities and rent and all that stuff, the audience is getting frustrated and they look at you like you're a scammer and they want to know where this money is going. Well, how is he always in this situation? What is he spending his money on? And that is the motivation to dive into your personal life.
Keem fucking nails it. Like, that's like, Phil is not a trustworthy person. Like, he has went back on himself, contradicted himself in the same sentence multiple times during this interview. Like, the fact that Phil genuinely believes that he is like super trustworthy and shit, like, is unfucking believable. Like, Phil is clearly not happy. Like, he's like, fuck you. Like, he wants to, he would fucking go through that screen and try and throttle Keemstar the gnome. Like, Gnome Star over here. Like, he would absolutely throttle him if he could. And that is that look. That is the look of, I'm going to fucking kill you. I have seen that look many a times, and that is the look.
You had an opportunity on this show, and I watched it, to just pull up the screenshot and show the WWE account, and you didn't do it. Your internet cut off. At that point, when your internet cut off and you were DDoSed and you were gone off stream, the opportunity is now gone. It's gone because while your internet was out, you could have made a fake screenshot. All right. You're never, ever going to be able to prove what your WWE account was or is ever again, because people will say he just photoshopped it. He just made it up. You're never going to be
Never
able
gonna
to prove
say
that.
that anyway. It's
You
not a
had
big deal.
one opportunity to do it right away with these guys, and that was it. And you didn't take advantage of it because I personally, watching it, and so did the audience, thought that you were lying. And if you are lying, if it is true and you're not being honest, if I were you, this is the best advice I could give you, right? Is just be like, look, this was my account. This is that. I would ask for a clean slate, and I would do things different, because this restarting level 1 over and over and over again is the root of all your problems, if that makes any sense.
I appreciate the input.
Oh.
It's not true. So, but appreciate it.
Fuck you, Phil! It's not true. What the fuck? Man's giving you like straight up criticism, and you're like, not fucking true.
The input. If it were true,
Me.
I would fess up to it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me.
I'm fucking done. This
I'll appreciate you hopping on. Really appreciate it.
Definitely.
All right.
fuck me.
Phil, you've been throwing curveballs today, which I did not see coming. I did not see them coming at all. But
Story of my life, Craig. Story of my life.
hey,
Yeah.
I
I
appreciate
appreciate
Ah.
you still being here.
Do you
Phil.
want to keep going?
Honestly.
I've got till around 4 p.m. We could keep going.
No, thank fuck.
So
Well,
let me say this. I was
it's
not,
10 p.m. for me, and I haven't had dinner, and so I can't go much longer. I'm
give us
freaking
15
starving.
minutes. Let's go 15 more minutes.
I'm so glad it's
If you
not
guys
15 more
aren't already, you
minutes.
guys hit the subscribe button. Once again, we stream Monday through Friday.
Okay, that's it. We're done. I am finished. I am finished this. Holy fuck. That was 7 hours. 7 hours. Oh my god. Okay. So, my final thoughts on this are Phil is a fucking lying bastard. He had every opportunity he could ever have to clear his name, to like Keith said, wipe the slate clean, but he doesn't. He didn't. He fucked it. He only doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down, pentupled down on his fucking lies. Like, it's wild that Phil thinks that is okay, and it's not. Like, that's unfucking fathomable. Like, I cannot stress enough how wild this entire thing was. Like, I know I am talking to literally fucking nobody at this point, but that was mind-boggling. That was 5 hours, or 7 hours of my life that I'm not getting back. But I think it was worth the watch, and that was genuinely fucking unreal. Like, genuinely unreal. Like, I cannot believe Phil would be this kind of person. No, I mean, obviously I fucking knew it, but like the lying about the podcast, I already knew that was a lie, because I knew that Keem had offered him 50 grand up front. The identity theft shit is a lie, because it's like, oh, this person just happens to live nearby who has like the same shit as me, like the same name, the same address and stuff. It's like, yeah, fuck off, Phil. There's just so much that is unbelievable that I was repeating so much, and I know that, and I hate that. Like, I don't like constantly going back and repeating myself, because it's like I don't like it, because it's like a loop, and I hate that. Like, when Cobes loops, it's funny, but when I loop, it's annoying. That's because I'm the one doing it. But like, it's not just the fact that the Keemstar, the Loghound podcast, was a missed opportunity for Phil. It was a missed opportunity. Like, Phil cost Boogie and Wings minimum 50 grand, and that is unfucking real alone. Like, that's 100,000 total. Like, I will never see that amount in my life. I will probably never see that amount in my life, ever, unless I fucking win the lottery. but I don't play the lottery, so I will probably never see that amount. But Phil is so fucked. Like, I'm gonna have to finish this. This is like you don't play, or at least do part one and see what the reception is to that. But yeah, this was a wild thing to watch. I really am, because it's only been like 6 months, but yeah, I got to it finally, and it's unfucking real. But once again, I have to say thank you to anybody, if you're still here, which you probably aren't, but if you tuned in, thank you so much. I know I say it all the time, but your viewership is more than appreciated. You don't have to sub, you don't have to donate or anything. Just being here means the world to me. And I will be hopefully streaming some Binding of Isaac at some point soon. I'll hopefully be streaming a couple of things soon. But I just want to say once again, thank you so much. And I will hopefully see you in the next stream, whenever that may be.